emails out. We'll see what happens. Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. It says we are live. I'm assuming we are live. If somebody could confirm that, because I've had crazier things happen where I've thought I've been live and I haven't. That would be nice. Let's go out in the chat and see who be here. This participant list sucks. Doesn't even show everybody on there. I don't know why the hell I pulled that damn thing up.
Yep, we're live.
We're live.
Let's just go through the chat here. Jumpy, Blind Shooter Declan. Hey, great to see you, man. Thanks a lot. Patriot in the Dark, jerk. Guy's out there taking up space. Look at all that. Look at it. He's just out there using up all the chat space. Look at it. Can't even. Oh, there's C4 Defense. Hey, Sarge, you see you're in here too. Fine Apes out there in there. Gizzard Gary, Patrick Pew Pew. Me, I'm out there. I'm fancy. Let's see who else. Scott P79. What's going on, Scott? How's it going? And Rupan's up there. Roosted's up there. Yoder's up there. Two Lives out there. Casino Boss is out there. Jorge's up there. Man. Everybody's showing up now. Look at that. You go live, people show up. Jorge says, Happy Father's Day. Excellent. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Had a good day. Little man and I went out cruising and perusing. We went out causing trouble at the gun show. It was fun times. He said hi to just about everybody behind the booth. it was cute. We come up to a booth. Dad wanted to look at something. He'd wave and say hi. They loved him. He was the coolest kid there.
Did he get any swag?
You know what? I'll tell you what. He did. He got some free swag.
Sweet.
I mean, he did. You know what? I forgot about it. Let me see here. Hold on. I can't remember what it is. We were looking at something, and the dude came around. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I thought they were clips, but they're not. The guy came around and handed this to him. He said, "Here you go, buddy. You can have this." And it's a 9/11 limited collector's edition pin set. Pretty funny. It's got got some stuff to it. So he's like, "Oh, that's okay. I got a bunch of them." Okay. So once he gets to shooting, put that on his shooting hat. He did. He made out pretty good. He didn't have to buy anything, little bugger.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, worked out good. So yeah, we had a great day. I saw. Let's see, Sarge, you put out a video. You had your little punks in the video with you. Oh, little man's a good shooter, man.
Yeah, he is.
He's a holy terror with that 22, huh?
Yeah, he can wield the CZ pretty well, so, also.
Now, I'll tell you what. I don't know. Maybe it's weird to notice this or whatever. Maybe I don't know if anybody else would. But when you were shooting and the brass was coming at him, he didn't even flinch.
No. He asked me right before that. He said, "Am I going to get hit with a bunch of brass?" I said, probably. He's like, "All right."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we know none went down his shirt because I've had that happen, and it makes you move. But
well,
yeah, that was cool.
That brass that hit him is nothing compared to some of the bruises he's got on his legs from catcher's practice this week. So.
Oh yeah, he's getting stuff fired at his face all the time. I did that for a little while. That was a mess. Yeah. That's a tough spot to be in, man. People throwing stuff at your face all day long. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Who else? We just had somebody. Grim's out there. Hey, Grim, you've got a link if you want it there, homie. All right. So, yeah, we've got, I think, what should be a pretty cool show. As long as Ape doesn't ruin it or something, we'll be okay. We've got a kind of a fun little bracket. It's going to be, because today's Father's Day, and it was, I was walking around the show with a little dude. Kind of came to me. I thought, you know what? Let's do a little bracket. It's not going to be a long one. 8 things. Things that you can buy Dad, or somebody can buy Dad, for Father's Day, gun-wise. So we'll do that. I do have a video that I watched today that I thought was pretty cool, and I thought it'd be really, really neat to send people over to watch it. And the big deal is we've got a guest on here that we want to talk to. I think it should be probably a pretty amazing interview. Super excited about it. We've been talking about it for a little while now, a couple of weeks. Just haven't quite gotten together on it, but it's a shooter. You've seen him in the chat the other day. He was trolling me a little bit as Guess Who. And he is a, what do we call you? A sightless shooter? That sounds catchy, right?
I'm perfectly blind.
Right. Perfectly blind. There you go.
Got to be perfect at something.
Yeah, you got to be good at something. That's right. That's what I always say. I say that all the time, but it's usually something like breaking shit or, falling over stuff or tripping or something like that, or, burning food. You got to be good at something. Might as well just be destroying. But we're going to have an open conversation. I don't have a whole lot of things planned. He's aware that I don't have anything planned, and I think that should be a lot of fun. To talk to somebody that has our same likes and loves of the firearm industry, whatever, I guess, and is a shooter, but does it all like he has his eyes closed, which is, and it's not. I'm going to give you a hint. It ain't Night Strike. Everybody, I can't believe that wasn't everybody's first guess. And if because it's a Guess Who, it is kind of it's somebody that you may know from our little circle of friends here. If you guess it, I would say the first two. We're gonna do a little contest. The first 2 or 3 people, we haven't decided yet. The first 2 or 3 people that can guess, if they guess who this is, we're gonna hook them up with some swag. All right. So we're gonna probably give people the week. This week coming up to. Scott says your guess can probably actually hit the target. Guess we'll find out. You'll have the week to leave your guess under the comment section of this video, and next week we will we'll make the choices. The first 3 that get it right get the swag. Okay, so it's there is a bunch of apps out. I've been fighting with my Hangout app for like 3 weeks now, so I got apps on the brain. I still can't join anything through mobile. I'm ready to. I'm not even going to say that, because I was going to say I was going to drive somewhere and choke somebody out, but I don't want to put threats on the internet, right? So let's go to we'll go to the panel. We'll say hi a little bit, and then we'll get right into it. Okay. Ape, the hype man himself, Mr. Bananarama, Banana Pants. What's going on, buddy?
I thought we agreed we weren't going to talk about my banana pants again.
No, really? You agreed that we weren't going to. I did not agree to that. Different.
I tell you, what a ripoff. First you won't give me my damn payment of a ham sandwich, now this.
Oh, guess what I had for lunch today with little man?
Oh, Reuben.
Did
the little man eat any of it?
No, he's a pretty picky eater. He had his grilled cheese and some fries and some chips, and and then we split some chocolate cake. We had a good time. We hit up one of the local diners, just him and me and a bunch of people over 60. They love him. He's laughing and clapping and jumping around and having a blast, and they liked him so much they bought him a piece of cake. So he made out like a bandit today. He got free swag, free cake. Can't beat it. So what's going on, Abe? What's new in your world, buddy?
Well, for any of our for any of our regular viewers, you notice I've been gone the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's because someone at work quit and they're kind of shuffling shit around, so I got to cover a lot of different stations.
I know the feeling. That blows, man. That sucks. Yes. Yeah, we're filling in the blanks. I actually got 2 guys hired and lost 1 person. So, one step forward, 1 step back kind of thing. So we're moving ahead, but not getting anywhere. Abe, do you have any kids?
No, I haven't found a woman that wants to stay with me for the 10 seconds it would take.
10 seconds. It's like some kind of superhero. All right. Gizzard, how's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty good, thank you, sir.
Good. Thanks for coming. And I know you do have some offspring, right?
I have a couple of them. Yes, I do.
Very good. You see him today? You hang out? You get in trouble with him?
I hung out with my daughter. I spent most of the day there yesterday, spent the night, and then we went to a movie this afternoon, and then I came home this evening. So
Perfect. Sometimes the best thing to do is as little as possible.
And I want to let you know that there are 2 Sarges on the panel tonight.
Oh. Oh, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Fancy. Nice hat, man. Very cool. The gizzard spawn, Jumpy says. Little peeps. I guess they'd be your peeps, right? G-Webs, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping in.
You bet. Thanks for the invite.
I got word that I almost got it right when I did the setup for Gun Channels.
I heard there was cake.
There was cake, but...
Oh, there was?
There was, but you can imagine if I like cake, then the little man likes cake too. Oh, see, he took off. he said, what, no free cake? He's gone. All right, well. Hey, G, if you come back, I'll give you some cake, buddy, I promise.
Don't listen to him. The cake is a lie. I'm still waiting on a Reuben sandwich.
Boy, he took off like a son of a bitch, man. You're like, pew! Thanks for coming. Sarge, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not a lot. Just fighting with my internet this evening, and that's how you ended up with 2 of me in here a second ago. But hopefully I can make it through this before I go to Best Buy tomorrow.
If 1 is good, then 2 is great. That's what they say, right?
No, 2 isn't good.
No. Well, you got 2 kids, so you're supposed to say, yeah, 2 is great.
Oh, well, that, yeah. But no, but not 2 of me in this chat.
You don't have one back there using up all your internets, do you?
No, we just got into it a minute ago. I'm like, enough is enough. Just got to stop this. I'm working on how to limit the time frame on the Xbox.
Yeah, that's tough. We deal with it with the iPad. I mean, we try and do it, a little bit before bed. That's it, and set a timer for it and do all that kind of stuff. That helps. But when they get older and they're a little bit bigger and they want to say no, I guess it's a little bit more difficult,
Well, I mean, he's a good kid and he does everything I ask him to do, and he doesn't get in any trouble. But he's getting consumed by this Xbox lately, and I kind of gotta reel him in just a little bit. So
yeah, we deal with it too. Technology, right?
You don't have fuses or a breaker for his room. You can just flip.
There you go.
Well, I think after this, I'm going to get into the Xbox and set. I'm sure I can set a parental timer on it. Just limit it to, I'll pick a number of hours a day, and that's all there'll be. So.
Yeah, but the real trick is he'll figure out the code sooner or later. It's only like a 6-digit code.
Oh yeah, maybe, probably. I'll probably forget it.
Set it for 10 minutes and watch him freak out. That's what you get, kid. Sorry.
No, I'm very lenient. It's going to be for a while, but it's just not going to be excessive.
Yeah. And last but not least, we got the guest here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and you guys, like I said, we're doing kind of a free for all. So if you guys have any questions, have at them.
Well, I guess that's me.
Yeah, that's you, guest.
I can't really say without saying my name. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm in my mid to late 40s, 100% blind, and I shoot, I collect. I hang around a lot, so I don't know what to say without giving it away.
Hey, you 2 hotties out there. No, that's fine. Yeah, so what would you say? So give us your story. So you were born blind, not born blind. How long have you been shooting? Like, what's
shooting wise? I started off young. Did the hunting as a kid, bow and rifle. Never anything really with pistols, and throughout my sighted life, which was up till about 7-8 years ago. Oh, wait, 10 years ago. Wow, I'm getting old. didn't I traveled a lot, and so I didn't do a lot of things with firearms. From the couple years after school got out. Then I started going blind and wanted a hobby, and so of course I wanted to buy a 1911 to tear apart, put it back together. So that was my first thing, and then it's kind of odd. I had some flack from my local gun shop, a blind guy coming in and all this stuff. But this was, like I said, 10 years ago. Within 2 months, I bought 6 pistols. So I kind of got the bug, and they started liking me a little bit better. And, I got, one of the guys there that, talked to me and, was cool with me being a blind guy. Because I stand out. I walk in with a white cane. I don't have a dog or anything. I use a white cane. So, but growing up, I didn't know a single blind person, besides what you see in movies, and that's all fake. But once I went blind, I see them all over the place now. But yeah, so once I started losing my vision, I basically retired. Which was nice. A couple years after it was a progression, because I had diabetes, or actually I do, and have retinopathy, which kind of medical stuff. But basically, I had 7 laser surgeries per eye, and 2 evasive surgeries in my right eye. And after the 2 evasive surgeries, I couldn't see out of it. And so it was a progression of having kind of double vision, and then, it slid, and then just peripheral vision. And, this whole time I was still driving because I was still working. And then once it got too bad, I bought a house and basically, retired, don't have to go to work. Then within a year of sitting around being so bored, I started a business. So I'm a business owner. And like I said, I like to collect. So that was kind of a thing. And then, I kind of jumped on gun channels just because I wanted to talk about guns, and didn't mention the blind stuff because, that's not what I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
this after a while, just in the last month or so, you've seen David with from Florida there with Dead Horse. They've been working together, and he's visually impaired. Then you've got your blind shooter. He's probably out in the chat. I heard he was. Anyway, so they started coming out, and so I figured, hey, wait a minute, I better, get this over with. So, but other than that, I shoot as much as I can. I've got a range, within 2-3 miles from my house, indoor and outdoor. And as far as the shooting, I know that's, safety wise, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about that, but
Yeah, absolutely.
anything about the blindness or the shooting, ask me away. That's cool.
Yeah. Do you?
I'm kind of skipping around because of some of the things that I've obviously went through, and I've mentioned in other chats and different things. So I don't want to give anything away, because I will say about the little giveaway. I don't know if G's in here, but I sent him an email about sending him the addresses and just giving him stuff and having him send them out. So all the swag will come from gear websites. So they'll, get the funds to keep the conversation going, and everybody else will get cool stuff. So
right on. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
It's better than, buying something from a big box store that doesn't matter. And, so anyway,
Gee, is it you have a PayPal, like a simple PayPal address too, right? Because what I wanted to do, he was gonna donate some money and have you do that, but I'd like to kind of throw a little something at you too to kind of put into the pot. That's easy to do, right? Through PayPal.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I'll shoot it to you. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So,
Yeah, Blind Shooter Declan is out there. Psycho's out there. 2 Live movie we talked about. Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've
Go
not
ahead.
watched in the chat, so if you see stuff, you have to let me know.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I will. Yeah, guys out there in the chat, if you have any questions, throw them up there. Yeah, put them, attention to me or whatever at me, and so I don't miss them. But yeah, that's what it's all about right here. I think we have a super interesting person to talk to here, and I want to take advantage of it. So when you shoot, one of the first things that I thought about that I thought of was when you shoot, do you use a spotter? Do you use somebody? Do you have somebody to spot for you?
When I started, all right, the first time I went to the range as a blind guy, first pistol range, I did have a friend of mine. He brought some of his pistols and kind of matched what I brought, and he kind of looked over my shoulder, kind of get me in the right area. Mm-hmm. And this was something that was new, because obviously it was new to me because I hadn't shot in the progression of going blind. So the last time I shot before that, I was obviously sighted. So the first couple times was like that, and I didn't like it. I don't like to have to rely on anybody. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't need help, and I do my own stuff. The only thing I don't do is mow my lawn, because the neighbors don't like my textured look. But so I being blind, we're all different, So my statements are just for me. Organization is the most important. You have to be organized, because you set something down, you have to know exactly where you put stuff, so you don't lose it. And then you're not asking somebody sighted for assistance, which I rarely do. So being organized, you have your bag set up a certain way. You're at the table, a certain way. And one of the things I started doing was pay attention to the other shooters, right? So I can hear, I use electronic muffs. That's really important. I use the dual style, so it's stereo. Because if you have the one with only one speaker, obviously it doesn't help you. It doesn't tell you direction. So you can adjust each ear, to basically square yourself up with, what you're hearing. And so knowing that, the guy's, 6 feet away from me and he's shooting straight down his lane, that kind of thing, kind of getting, setting it up in my head. I set my own targets, like in the outdoor range. You have to walk out, and post your own targets. So I know the height that I put it, and then I walk back and I can visualize basically the location, general area. That was fine for a while. And then finally I got an idea. I went on Amazon and I bought key fobs. Everybody loses their keys and their remotes, and you push the button and on the remote and it chirps. Well, I think you can buy like 5 for whatever, $20, something. Well, I've got a pile of them that I've shot. I hang them, 8 inches from center of target, so I can hear it. So I guess vertically, I know where a target is, because I'm shooting, but I listen to where it's at and I can hear. Especially in the indoor ranges, it gets kind of rough to do, especially if there's a lot of other shooters. But once you kind of zero in on it, they're not moving, and so if it moved, then I could use more tone. But that's just like if somebody comes to my house, I know where you're at, because unless you hold your breath for the whole time you're in there, so everybody makes noises.
So basically what you're saying is, if you, as a blind person, a blind shooter, can shoot an 8-inch group, if you can't do that and you can see, you should just sell all your guns and move to England.
Yeah. Well, everybody needs practice. Everybody's different,
Yeah.
But at first, I mean, it was
PC.
rough.
That was a very PC thing for you.
It's the biggest thing is get the people at the range. When you first show up, sometimes, especially if they're not regulars, they kind of, you can tell, you can feel them staring at you. But once you're there a few times, and even if you're there for a half an hour, they see you shooting, they know that you're safe. You're not muzzling anybody, and that's one of the big things. The thing that's thrown up at me the most is, well, how do you know that you're not aiming at somebody or you're not being safe? And you get the crazy anti-gunners. Somebody bumps in you, you're going to shoot. Just ridiculous things. But with me, I get super focused on whatever I'm doing. The multitasking that I used to do is a little more difficult now because I like to focus on what I'm doing. So when I'm shooting, I know exactly where I'm setting things. I know exactly where it's aiming. Checking a pistol, rack the slide. Of course, I don't visually look in there. The guys at the gun shop, they freak out when I stick my pinky in the chamber. Oh wait, that's gonna snap on your finger. Whatever.
Yeah.
So there's things I do that somebody else looking at me would be like, well, how can you do that?
Well, I mean, nowadays too, they have my 40 has a loaded chamber indicator.
Yeah,
that's got to be a nice little feature for you if you're looking for it.
Nah, I don't. Actually, I don't have any that have that.
Yeah.
But yes, there are different things like that. But it's just being aware. I mean, just like any of you guys, when you clear a pistol before you put it away or you go to clean it, the first thing I do when I get a pistol is I tear it all apart and put it into all the smallest pieces that I can get. I put it back together, and if I can't get it back together, I work on it until I do, and then I know exactly how everything fits and everything works together, so that if I do have an issue, if I do bring out a pistol and I have not a hang, I haven't had a hang fire, but an issue where something's jammed or something doesn't work right and it stops midstream, I know exactly the sequence to do it where I don't have to ask the next sighted guy, oh hey, what's wrong with my gun?
Mm-hmm.
I won't do. I mean, if I do get an issue, I do ask. If I have a problem, the range officer or whatever. And actually, there's a funny story about that. I was shooting with a guy, and he had it was a Smith & Wesson VE 40, I think. Anyways, he had a couple different pistols, and I was shooting a different caliber, and the guy come down because the guy I was with actually shot and he hit the ceiling of the indoor range, which of course anybody hit the ceiling, they're going to look at the blind guy, right? So they came down and I'm like, oh, mine's fine, and what it was is he had loaded his Ruger, I don't know if it was a Ruger magazine. Anyways, he ended up loading his 40 with 9mm and shot it, and it was doing whatever. So, and they look at me like I'm crazy, but all my ammo is all separated. It's all labeled, so I know when I go to the range, I take, 2 or 3 calibers, they're 38s and 45, and, so they're quite different.
Easily discernible.
Yeah. I've stayed away from Makarov because it's too close, and I will eventually, but
over in the Gun Channels chat, General Relativity, he asked, how do you hit the target with audio assist question, and which is you pretty much answered. And then he said he once saw a target system, a special target system for the blind, that used a change in audio pitch of a tone to get on target.
That's small bore, and it's out of England, England with all their gun clubs. Right. They just use their, those little teeny things. It's indoor, and I have checked into that, and there's some things I'm actually working on with some of my past history stuff I've worked with that I'm doing something, but that's actually, it's nice, but it's indoor and it's controlled lighting so that there's, I believe there's light shining on a graduated target. So it's like the center is, white and it fades out to gray or whatever. And the way the system works, I think, is it sends a signal, and as it fades to the right color, it's a tone. It'll speed up or go to a solid or something like that. But I've never used anything like that. They do have that, but like I said, it's I believe it's indoor and it's small bore stuff. And I have tried to contact them, but they've never contacted me back. So.
Too Hot, he asked just in the chat, he asked the same thing that I was actually just about to ask. Do you shoot steel? Do you like to shoot steel? Is it something that's, a little more because you get the feedback? Like he said, you get the feedback.
I love it, but like my local range, you can't shoot it. So it's if I go to family or somebody's property, I'll shoot it. And yeah, I like shooting anything that's metal, refrigerator,
right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That was kid stuff, shooting washer and dryer sitting outside somewhere. But.
Do you do any specific drills? Is there anything when you go to the range that you try and do that you think, helps you out? Do you, obviously, like you said, you have a routine where, you set up, you have to set up the same way. You have to be exact, or you're just launching rounds wherever. But,
the one thing that I do, a lot of people dry fire. You do your dry fire, your practice, your trigger, and everything. I do the same thing with the key fob. Place it somewhere, or have somebody place it somewhere in my house. Well, I have like 4 different signals, for 4 different ones, and they'll place them randomly through my house or whatever. And I'll stand in the center and I'll push it and I'll point to where they're at so that I can, designate, where things are, so I practice with the hearing. I'm always trying to, like if I'm in a store or something and, some mundane thing, I'm always focusing on exactly where everybody's standing. It's just something, kind of a game I play in my head, just as far as, finding the direction, and shooting is basically the same idea. I randomly, depending on what range I'm at, I use, multiple audio setups, so that, one's higher, one's lower, whatever, kind of,
that's what I was just
where you shoot at 2 different ones and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you kind of is your hearing sensitive enough that you could almost surround the target with a couple of fobs and be accurate that way?
What's that?
Would you be able to, like, you use the key fobs? Would you be able to almost surround?
That was a joke. That was a joke. I couldn't hear you.
Hey, I'm not that quick.
Really, I mean, I guess I could, one above, one below kind of thing, but I know where I place it. And that's so, true. I usually place it 8 inches. So, wherever I visualize it, I drop down, and then, whoever I'm with or, guys at the range, hey, how's that hitting? And, and like the indoor ranges, where you got the little button and it, flies back to you, you can check it randomly. So, and the only thing with that is getting your timing so that the distance of, actually where it's at. It's not like walking out to the target, at an indoor range or whatever. But yeah, that's. But as much practice as I have, and as much shooting as I've done, before this conversation, I was contemplating actually mentioning, but I do have my my concealed carry license, and that in itself makes them run like their hair's on fire. But my situation is a lot different than yours, And just like anything, you have to know your limits, right? I'm not going to be at the mall shooting, 20 terrorists. I'm not rolling over hoods of cars, like a lot of people think that's what they're going to do. So knowing your limits is a big thing. You have your triangle of self-defense, where you have to have each 3 points before, it's a good shoot, that kind of thing. All the legal stuff, but if you're walking down the street, and you're a middle-aged, healthy person, compared to a older person, maybe walking with a walker, or, just an older person. And then you got a blind guy with a white cane walking down the street, who's the bad guy is going to mess with first? They're probably going to skip over the healthy guy because, that's a little resistance, blind guy, what you can push him, take his stuff. And so a lot of that kind of plays into, my mindset, so anybody that's really going to mess with me, they're not, nobody's going to think I carry or whatever. And so, they grab you, it's basically, their intent, what they're trying to do, what they're yelling at you. So it's, and that's another thing with caliber, and there's all sorts of little caveats with that, but that's a whole huge discussion. So I know everybody's out there probably freaking out right now. So
no, not really. We haven't gotten. I mean, there's a little bit of lag. We'll see what happens here in the next minute or two. But
if
Declan said out there that the systems that we were talking about with the pitch change are usually for BB guns.
Yeah,
small
European. The big stuff to them, but
right. Yeah.
But I just to let any of the bad guys out there, if there's any bad guys listening to this, you might want to watch out who you mess with. The blind handicap guy or the guy in the wheelchair. You might want to change your career choice.
I think that's probably one of the most important things or one of the things that you wish criminals would sort of have an epiphany about is maybe this isn't such a good idea because you never know who you're gonna come across, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's that's important.
So give me some questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's. You have anything out in the chat? Do you guys have anything on the panel? I'm sure we got a couple of guys on the panel. You guys have anything for him?
I feel like this guy speaks for all blind people. So are you going to tell me that you people feel like you still have rights?
Us people? Uh-oh. Yeah. I have just as much right as, Army guys and, civilians and little old ladies that work at dollar stores.
Now, Pelosi, I think, has a better concept of the criminals or whatever, because she says there's a discrepancy in force. Why would they go after someone who's disabled? So I don't understand where you think that you have more potential to be at risk just because you're not able to defend yourself. Is that what you're saying?
It could be that. I mean, I might have a spark of divinity, like, some bad, what is that, MS-13 gang guys, Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody's a person, I guess, but yeah.
I feel like if we're confronted with trying to rob somebody who's blind, then wouldn't they close their eyes? Equal the playing field?
Well, it's kind of funny you say that, because I've had, in my neighborhood, there's been break-ins at each side of me, but nobody's ever messed with my house. So I don't know. Maybe that's because they say, "Oh, that's just the blind guy. We're not going to steal his weed whacker like my former lawn guy did." Yeah, but that's another story.
Well, I'll say this too, like if you want to really put your criminal at disadvantage and they break into your house with no lights on, you're going to do a lot better than they are.
Mm. Yeah, that's it's funny when people come over and, because I do everything. I cook, I do all my shopping. Blind people are the same. We adapt and get through all the issues that everybody else has. But I cook, I've got a gas stove, and I fry, I barbecue, I'm a single parent, so, I do all that stuff. So I haven't burnt my house down.
Yeah.
But it's funny with
you have a W. I don't know if you're telling anybody what state you're in, or if that's like some kind of giveaway.
That's something that that's something that he wasn't going to say. I was just about to say that when he was done.
Yeah. What's that? I didn't hear the question part.
Well,
somebody asked what state you were in.
Well, apart from that, do you have a CCW?
I have a concealed carry license. Yes.
And there is
each state, they have different letters, and
Mm-hmm.
if I say the letters, you'll know what state it is. So yes, I have a license to carry concealed.
There's a comment out in the gun channel side, and I hope he doesn't. He's going to be mad at me for saying this, but DT Pfeiffer says the place I went to take my CCW class told me that they had a blind person come and pass the test, and that person still hasn't gotten his CCW license. We're still waiting for it, South Carolina.
Oh, well, I actually
That's
have.
not Night Strike, is it?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, but you were thinking it pretty loudly.
Could you hear that?
I will say this: there are more blind shooters than any of you know and realize. So,
yep. I know. I've been to 3 classes where the blind people are in the class and passed.
Yep. I've got friends, all over the nation that. Yeah, and most, we don't. It's not something we come out and talk about like on the internet or. Wait a minute, I guess I am, but it's you got to know your limits. I mean, just like anybody, you're not gonna take that 2,000-yard shot if you're not, you can't do it, or you've never tried it. You're not gonna do it. So.
Mm-hmm. The juice is we'll form it in a question. He says he may walk with the Force. Do you have the Force? Are you midichlorians like in super turbocharged or what?
No. It's just you live with it. If you go, I went to a training center, for blind people, right? And you go to some of these places. It's just like schools and colleges or whatever, and you meet a wide range of people that have been blind since birth, older people that are, just have failing eyes, and, everybody in between, from accidents or whatever. And so you see a wide range of people just like any other, section of life. And I don't know, you kind of focus on it, and I'm not one to give up on anything. And so, especially if somebody says, nah, we're not comfortable, giving you a class for, your carrying concealed. So, no, we're not going to do that. And so, that you leave that shop and you go on a mission to find somebody that's going to do it. And
did you have trouble finding an instructor?
Actually, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I had when I first started. When I actually that first trip to the local shop where I was just going to buy a pistol, I asked the guy, because I verified and I checked, and there's nothing on the books in my state that legally say I couldn't, so there was nothing that said, you can't drive a train drunk and all the different, rules that they had, for 100 years, but there was nothing about vision as long as you could pass the test. And I brought that up. And, you get guys that they're not comfortable. They don't understand how you could do that. How do you expect me to teach you and you can't see what I'm pointing at, kind of thing. And I found a couple different instructors, and, talking to them, they were cool with it until they found out obviously about the blind stuff. And then
And I'm like, who's the who?
Just through the progression of talking to different people, I found a guy that's actually was pretty close to my area, and he had no problems with it. You know, I discussed everything. He had a lot of questions, but that's good because, you know, all those questions that, you know, the other people didn't bother asking, you know, I answered, and I gave him how I thought about it, well, how I would, you know, deal with certain situations, and that made him feel better and at ease. And then he's seen me, you know, through the class, you know, I passed the class, you know, with no issues. And then, you know, actually seeing me shoot, that kind of stuff. And, you know, they were all pretty happy because it was a big class. So, but yeah, it was an issue at first, but it seems now, you know, the last few years, I don't know if it's just, you know, everybody coming in and buying stuff. You don't get well, I guess I might get the looks. I don't really pay attention to that, but, you know, nobody really, you know, gives you much mind, you know, and you fold your cane up, and you stick it in the back, and you start asking for, you know, check out a pistol and this and that. And, you know, you don't get or I don't feel it. Maybe it's because I'm more confident about it, and I'm not, you know, I know the questions to ask, and I know what I'm looking for. And so, you know, when you go in and you're not just, I want a gun, you know, and you actually tell them exactly what you want or what you're looking for, and, you know, what you want in a pistol or whatever. It does make a difference. And so I don't see it as much anymore, but I'm not searching for different instructors. I do like taking classes. And so I'm in the process of, you know, in the next year or so, taking some other, you know, different states, maybe, I don't know, do some traveling, and maybe go to Chicago at that Second Amendment Foundation.
So Chicago's would be in Illinois, which is a different state.
Yep. So I am not in Illinois.
G, you're tricky, G. You're tricky.
He let himself into that one.
Nope, I did that on purpose. Because now he knows I was listening to his chat talk about Chicago and the SAF convention.
No, so you were just brown nosing, that's all, huh?
I was just letting him know I know.
One of the things, one of the questions was, what's your favorite caliber? What do you like to shoot?
Yeah. Well, at the range, for me, I like shooting my 45. I don't have a 40. All right. I like 32 caliber, you know, older stuff. I like, I do have 9s, but, you know, I'm just saving those for my kid when they get bigger, you know, because I'm a little calibers. But I have 380, and, you know, I do the 5.56 and 7.62 by 39, you know, 12 gauge. I kind of run the gamut. I don't have a 22 or, you know, any of the 25 or any of that stuff, but, you know, my favorite is probably a 45.
Well, here's one too.
Was that all over the place?
No, it's okay. I mean, that's, you know, hey, we all have favorites, and sometimes we have a lot of them. Declan actually asked, how do you fill out the paperwork for a gun? Is it, I guess it's technically, it's illegal to have somebody else fill out the form for you, right?
Well, what you have to do,
No,
it's changed. It's changed. You have to have 2 witnesses.
Oh, okay.
So if you have somebody writing the paper, you know, filling out the paper, because the first time I did, I actually filled it out. I just had them line up. I use stencils. I'm sure he knows that they're like signature stencils, same size as a credit card, but it's got a slot that's a box that's cut out. You lay it over, and then you can feel the edge. You just sign in there or something. It takes a while. The first pistol, that's how I did it. After like the second or third, they're like, you know, you can just have them fill it out and have two people watch and witness that I was the one answering. He wrote exactly what I said. Then they just sign that they were a witness, and then that's fine. And
Very cool.
some shops, I do believe are actually doing stuff, online, and you can fill it out on the computer.
Yeah.
Which, I use computers, so.
That's true, because I think that's how Cabela's does it. I think Cabela's has been doing that for years. I think they do everything online. They have a bunch of computers set up in the store.
And then when you have your concealed license too, you can use that too. So, but that's background. So
I've seen shows about what it's like to be blind, and I have a question. Again, since you're probably speaking for all blind people, why did you choose firearms instead of the enhanced karate and like throwing sticks and stuff?
The Kurt flip, the James T. Kirk, where he always flipped the bad guys over his head. Yeah.
I'm thinking like when you get enhanced judo skills and
I've
things really accurately.
I have had different things like that. Kung Fu when I was a kid. I was Golden Glove boxing as a kid. So I've had some of that stuff, but as far as going the other route, I got to watch what I say, because that kind of narrows the states down too. There's G trying to get tricky again. With different non-lethal weapons, pepper sprays, stun guns, tasers, throwing stars, whatever you want. There's always other options and multiple options. I love firearms. I love the Second Amendment, so that kind of pushed me. I have the time now to do what I do. So, because I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just, the thing where, some people carry, a pistol, they carry a knife, they carry pepper spray, they carry a bunch of different things. If you ever have to use something, where they throw it up that, hey, why didn't you use this instead, with the lawyers and that kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, that's
Psycho out in the chat. Psycho316 is asking, is there any way that you can tell if G-Webs is actually Skynet? Maybe he's had some sort of sensory thing.
Yeah, I've heard him laugh, which if you listen to the chats, it's usually far and in between. I've heard him laugh, so yeah, I think he's real. I've never met him, but
So I don't know. PW, do you look for something like Derringer or revolver that's double action? Because I'm assuming that's like the get off of me type of option is probably more possibility.
I'm still looking for the perfect. I don't have the perfect yet. The smaller calibers, because of the get off me, you're grabbed a hold of me, pushing me down, that kind of thing. Just because of over penetration, shooting with the 45, hands on, it's going somewhere, angles and that kind of thing help. But, I ultimately, it's a smaller caliber, because not only is the over penetration because of, being on top of somebody, that's an issue. It's the noise, because I'm not wearing electronic muffs when I'm walking down the street. A lower caliber, smaller caliber, that's not going to, make my ears ring and totally, isolate me where I can't hear what's going on. That's a big issue.
Yeah.
If you pull out a 9mm or a 40 or a 45 and you shoot, your ears are going to be ringing, but you can still, tunnel vision or not, you can still see what's going on. With me, I have to be that much more in tune with what's going on, because obviously, if my ears go out, that's an issue. But
So are you saying that there should be some sort of a nationwide, NFA, that if you're anyway physically handicapped, that the NFA no longer applies. There's no taxes, so that you can get things like short firearms and firearms with suppressors for your obviously vital hearing.
yes, that's the Share Act was something I've been pushing for since I first heard about it. But
Plus, on the
that's
guy that tries to take your firearm with a suppressor on it after you fired it at all, or when you're about to fire it, if they grab on that, then you don't need eyes to know that's not.
Yeah, I never even. That's something that didn't even occur to me. Like, if you're using something, Magnum caliber or something big, and you lose your hearing, you're totally out of the game.
And you, like me, I have different things I carry. I'm not going to mention them because that might flag who I am for anybody that pays attention. But like in revolvers, a 38 special. With a revolver, you can get, softer loads or whatever. I mean, so there's a lot of options, and there are a lot of blind only, visually impaired only message boards that there's a lot of talk about it. It's always going on, trying to figure out what's best for you, because, just like that, there's some people that can be legally blind and they can see, they could drive possibly, so there is a big gap of what's actually blind and what's, correctable vision or whatever. But so there's a wide range, and like I said,
they're saying that we have 350 something million people in the country, and there's like 30 something million gun owners, so something like 10% of the population ish. Does that do you think that that's reflected in the non-sighted population?
No, not. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not an expert on blind people. I've been blind for like 10 years, but the people I talk to.
That you speak for all blind people when I was invited into this room.
Oh, well, you also haven't got your cake yet, so.
Oh, hey, don't throw me under the bus.
Like a lot of disappointments stacking up here.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I do apologize.
This doesn't happen on Matt's show, right? Is that what you're thinking? Next week we're gonna have a flat earther on. Make you happy. So, and that is something that kind of, and you're talking about the mechanical ears, or somebody said the mechanical ears, or the Hearing Pro, the Hearing Pro. Man, geez, I can't speak. I've had conversations with people, and they've brought up that they keep a set of the electronic earmuffs beside their bed,
on their headboard
with their gun.
Yeah.
With their gun. Is that something that you would do, or is something that you do?
Yes, mine are hanging on my headboard. Like I said, I'm single, so I can have cool gun stuff sitting out that's not fire. But yes, I do have the earmuffs that you turn them up, you can hear everything in the house even better. So yeah, I do have some of them. Yep.
G, you had a question in the side chat. You said you thought you cut him off, or I cut him off.
Did you get to answer? Are there is there a large enough percentage of non-seeing gun owners to be a percentage, or is it just a few? Do you think?
It's out of all the blind people I know, it would be. I don't know. Right offhand, I know of at least 20, 25 blind guys and girls. I guess say blind. But yes, I mean, and I don't know, that many blind people. I have a lot of acquaintances, but yeah, it's just like sighted people. Some people, there's sighted people I wouldn't go shooting with. And there's some blind people that never been, involved with family members or whatever that use firearms. So if they've never been around it, but then there's some people that I know that they've been shooting since they were very small. So I mean, and there's a lot of guys. I mean, you can search them out on Google and that, blind hunters, Kerry McWilliams. There's several out there that. So I don't know as far as a finite number, but it's more than you would think. I mean, because I know of several, and I bet there's a lot of people that know them that don't know their firearm people.
It's got to be one of those things where once you're not sighted or really poorly sighted, people are going to come around telling you what you can and can't do. And it's like, I can do this, whatever. But, crocheting, big deal. People close their eyes and crochet. So is it like one of those kind of things that, hey, I'm shooting. Like, not only am I doing what I want, but I'm shooting. I would hope that that's a thing. And hopefully that would give them advocates potentially.
And that's kind of why I'm coming out with this, because once next week and, this little thing where people are guessing who I am, they'll be able to get a hold of me. And like I said, I know of message boards and things of visually impaired, and they're the only ones there. It's private stuff, and if anybody wants that is visually impaired or whatever that wants to join up and get in the conversation, there's a lot of legal stuff. There's a lot of different things. So it's out there if you look for it, if you know it's there. If you don't know it's there, then you just go on day to day. But that's kind of why I got into it. Why I went to gun channels was because I was tired of the first question was oh, well, how can you do this? How do you think you can do this? It's like, no, I don't care about that. I want to know about this rifle, or I want to know about this. So there was kind of a reason why I didn't come out and say it, but there's really no reason that I need to keep it that way, because it doesn't bother me. It doesn't change me. If you don't like it, if it rubs some people the wrong way or whatever, or they can't stand that I shoot, then that's their luck.
You're super you're super positive, and you seem super determined to just do your call this a sport or whatever, to just kind of figure out a way to make it happen. What was it like for you when the first couple times how did you have to work yourself up to it? You're just like, I want to go shoot, but how long did it take you to decide you're just gonna do it? You're just gonna figure out a way and you're gonna do it. Like, what was that like?
Like I said, I'd say a good 15 years or so from, well, not 15, maybe 12 or 15 years, I guess, before I started going blind. I was busy with day-to-day life, doing, technology and working and that kind of stuff. So I didn't mess with firearms. I mean, I still loved them and stuff, but I didn't have them because I travel a lot, and, leaving stuff at a house where you're not around, it wasn't anything I even looked at. Like I said, I get after going blind or starting going blind, I became single, and the home protection kind of started in, and so I was like, well, I'll get a shotgun, and then once I got there, since I was there, I looked at a 1911. Next thing you know, I had both of those, and then I had, anyways, it just kind of downfall from there. I went downhill, got everything I want now, but so that that kind of pushed me into it as far as being able to protect my house, protect my kid, because with issues in my area, like I said, there's a couple of houses been broken into, and so. You see a guy out there with the white stick, that kind of thing, it kind of flags people to look at you and look at your house or whatever. So that was the first thing. But once I bought, my first pistol, you buy a pistol, you get a free range day kind of thing, you know, a couple hours or whatever at the range. And, you know, I didn't care if I was hitting anything. I just was giddy and happy, just like a, you know, schoolgirl, you know, laughing, and, you know, I could get enough of, you know, box after box, but, thinking and focusing and getting a pistol that naturally, you know, aimed for me and was better, that I wasn't, you know, compensating because of, you know, the grip angle and different things like that. I was just, you know, I knew how it was before when I was a kid, and I shot, you know, my uncle's revolver, and it knocked me over, you know, just the different things that, you know, growing up and remembering that stuff, you know, focusing on, you know, basically, you know, in my life as a kid, you know, shooting anything and everything that was there, and, you know, going out in the woods for hours by yourself, you know, under 10 years old, and, you know, you got your 22 and you shoot anything that moves, and, you know, wanting, you know, some of that back, you know, there's a thing with the freedom, you know, obviously I don't drive anymore, you know, and that was a big part of my life, you know, my old life before I went blind was driving and, you know, doing all the crazy things. You know, I do have other dangerous hobbies that I still do, but it was just something for me, you know, nobody could take that away once I started it. You know, I shoot, I know I can shoot, and it doesn't matter, you know, who I talk to or whatever, you know, it's something that's for me. And it's one of those intimate things that, you know, it's really loud and it messes with a lot of people around you, but, you know, it's still intimate.
Yeah.
At least that's the way I see it.
So we had a question out there, and then I have something to kind of go with it, I think, a little bit. It sort of ties in a little bit. Said you were talking about different calibers.
It is a
have
sandwich.
You have you? Yes.
It is a sandwich.
See?
Yeah.
Even a blind
you have
guy
to have,
knows G-Webs.
you know,
Even a blind guy knows.
Every my dog. What are you talking about?
What's your favorite platform? That was the question. Which I guess you brought up 1911. I know you didn't mention Glock, and I would imagine Glock would probably be a hell of a struggle for you at first because of the grip angle, huh?
I'm one of those metal guys. So, you know, 1911 was something I sought after. You know, M9s, sure, but, you know, it was always, you know, the 1911s. That's what I've wanted since I was a kid, kind of thing. I haven't bought a Glock yet, just because I haven't had, you know, haven't got one yet. But as far as platform, it's. I'm trying to pick my words because they're, you know, if I say something, then they'll go, oh yeah.
No, you're doing a good job, because I keep thinking about what you're saying too, and I think like, no, that's no big deal. That's no big deal, because this is a fun thing. And if you guys if anybody's just gotten here, we should say this again. Is Mr. Guest here is a Gun Channels member. If you know my channel, you probably would know him. And if you, between now and next week, in the comment section of this video, if you guess who it is, we got some swag we're going to send out for the first 2 or 3 people from Gear Websites. He and he's going to give, I know he's planning to do a little bit more than me. I'm kind of broke, but we're going to give G some monies to help him out, and also to get you guys some swag. So under the comment section of this, give your guesses. So go ahead.
Actually, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna say 4 people.
Okay, we'll do 4.
Okay,
no problem. So me, Sarge, Gizzard, and Ape. Gotcha. So to kind of go along with that, I mean, it kind of fits in a little bit. You also talked about shotgun and then moving away from shotgun to pistol for home defense, or maybe in addition to. Is it because something we talked about earlier was that I know you have a kid. Is the shotgun not close enough quarters? Do you want to be closer to be sure of your shot? And a shotgun's kind of long; it's a little unwieldy. Are you looking to be able to feel with one hand, and have the firearm in the other hand, and maybe get up close and personal like that, so that you're sure of what's going on?
No, and a little different than that. I do have a system worked out with my kid. We basically I have a safe area for my kid if such and such word is hollered. One's stay where you're at, one's get in there kind of thing. And I have 50% custody. So there's times that it's just me here. And if anybody's in my house, I know exactly where they're at. I know my house, every corner of it. And so, the way the bedrooms are set up, that kind of thing. If it's at night, so to answer that question, if a person's in the house, I don't have to be right up on them to hit them, right? To stop the threat. So that that's part of it. But yes, having a child in the house is obviously a concern. It's not something that I hear something and just there's a sequence that has to happen, and it's kind of nice the way my house is set up. Easiest way to get into my house is a certain way, and it's been mapped out, and so it's known that's the one weak spot kind of thing. And so but I have security lights, I have alarms, I have all the deterrents, and so it yes. I don't know if that even remotely answered a question, or if I just talked in circles. But no, I don't have to grab onto somebody in my house before I. And
that was kind of my question was, if it's just you in the house, obviously it's a little bit different. You let people know that you are able to defend yourself, and if they decide to keep coming, then goodbye. But if you have a kid in the house, then obviously there's a whole slew of things that are probably running through your head. So I guess it's somebody that's responsible gun owner, I would it makes sense that you would have sort of contingency plans and that you've thought things through, and not just like made it be a free for all. Does your kid shoot?
No, not very much. I mean, my kid, see, I'm being vague again. Does have air pellet rifle, and they got it when they were, I don't know, way older than I was when I got my first gun. But yeah. They're really good, but it's not something that they like girly school stuff. So I guess I just slipped. But yeah, more kids and friends, and not really into it yet. But yeah, but that's one thing. They play the the games, Fortnite and all that nonsense. But she has friends all over, doing the online stuff or whatever when they're playing, and randomly I'll just I'll ask what's your third rule, what's your second rule, what's your and I'm always doing that, and so she talks and she tells me exactly what it is, and the whole time she's talking and all her little minion friends are hearing that. And so when you end up having a house full of them, and you're walking by and you say, what's your second rule? Boom, you got friends spitting it out quicker than your kid, because they're interested in it. Not that I would bring that up to anybody, kid that parents don't like that kind of stuff, but I'm just saying it to my kid, and they just happen to overhear it, and hopefully they pick it up. But I bet you G's got a spreadsheet over there trying to figure it out. but see, he can't play because he already knows.
That's true. Oh gosh, C4 Defense said it. Oh man, I totally forgot. My wife has it. He did his show last night.
Oh,
and we were,
likely.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'll text her. Let me text her here. I'm sorry to. Let me text her because she was carrying it. She likes it. Let me.
Come on, we already know that
Wife
Mia has everything important to Midnight to begin with, so this gun is just one more thing to add
See,
to the
Sarge,
pile.
what did I tell you? What did I tell you?
I know.
Shit, I totally forgot. Sorry, I'm texting her right now. Let's see what happens. So, does any Sarge or Gizzard or Abe or Night Strike's here? By the way, thanks for stopping in, Night Strike. It was a really cool chat. I'm glad you're here. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, awesome.
Night Strike heard about the 8-inch group, so it sounds like
Well, actually, I think we were talking about hot dogs, and that's about the time he popped in.
Hot dogs are sandwiches. You have bread.
And meat. And a second piece of bread. So
he just wanted to prove I wasn't him with a voice changing software.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Because this chat did start a while ago. Walk me through the target acquisition system that you use, just so I can wrap my mind around it again. How does one get started again? Because there may be some people that just popped in that weren't here at the beginning, and that I want to hear more about that and be a refresher for the other ones.
What I use are the key fobs. There's a bunch of different types that use a remote, and depending on what style you get, can be a different distance, up to 20, 30 feet or whatever. And you push it to find your keys, it hooks on your keys. Well, I take it and I actually hook it above my target, about 8 inches above, depending on the style of target or whatever. But I hang my target, I hang the receiver out above it. And then I get back to the line. I push the button so that I can locate it, or if like we said earlier, if I use two separate targets, I'll have whoever's with me randomly push between A and B or A, B, and C, depending on which one, and then using that with I use electronic muffs, which have the receivers on each ear, or microphones on each ear, so that you can adjust them so that it gives you direction. Because some of them, the cheaper ones, you have an adjustment on one, and it just, it's mono between your ears, and that doesn't give you a direction of where the sound's coming from.
Okay, that's like mine are. I'm sure mine just are mono. I haven't paid attention to that.
Yeah, and you can get, they're not any more expensive. I mean, you can get walkers or whatever, but some of them have 2 dials, one on each earmuff, and you can adjust the volume. And it takes practice, just like anything. I mean, sitting at home with those same key fobs and having your kid move them and hide them, and then push the button, and then you say, I think it's there, and they're like, no, it's over a little bit more, and then you can adjust your little muffs so that the sound is actually where it's coming from, so that they're both equal. And there's multiple. I mean, some people even use like the holiday cards that you open and they have sound. They don't play very long, so I mean, I don't know about using that, but you can get those from Amazon. Those key fobs or key finders, I think they call them. They're like 4 of
Okay,
them
so
for
it's a key finder.
$20.
That was the part I missed, was just about.
Okay.
So there's a receiver at the other end. I
Yeah,
missed that
it's like a
part.
little fob that like your car alarm,
Yeah.
where so you just hang it out there. Just make sure you bring stuff to hang them. And
I have a question about that.
yes,
Are you concerned that you'll be in a parking lot and someone will use one of their key fobs and then
I'll shoot their car.
be a horrible, horrible situation?
I've kind of trained myself because I'll push the button and I'll have somebody yell, and so I kind of associate it with the yelling, or give me your car keys, or something. But no, I won't shoot them.
You just haven't trained yourself to take a shot every time you hear the little key fob beep.
Yeah. I hear it and I visualize where it's at, and then I shoot. And yeah. Maybe I'll send you one. I have one with a 9mm hole right through it. So
That's what I was going to ask you. Have you shot one of the receivers?
yeah, that's why I said they're $20 for 4 or 5 of them. So yeah, you just put it in your preferred section of your cart where it's a rotating order.
This was like a year ago now. I was coming home from a walk and I found one of them little key fob things smashed out in front of my place. And I assume the robots put it there, but now I'm wondering.
Yeah. Trying to track you down? No.
What brand EarPro do you use with the dual microphones? What's been your experience? What are your favorites? What are your least favorites? Ones to stay away from?
I'm still on my original pair, and I believe they're the Walkers. I would have to search it out. I want to say they're the Walkers. I'm not sure. I will have to get back. I'll send that to Midnight for his next week's chat or whatever. or just follow the comments to this, and I'll post it in the comments.
Well, I have an observation and a question. My first observation is I don't want to be at the range next to you because you're obviously going to shoot probably way better than I do. I don't want to be embarrassed. But do you clean your own guns?
I do everything. Nobody touches mine.
Wow.
I have went to the gunsmith twice because I had questions, and they told me it was $250 just to answer the question. Oh yeah, we can take that off. $250.
Wow.
And so I took it home, and I had one certain pistol that had an issue, and I resolved the issue with a hammer and the right tools. But yeah, I do everything. I enjoy cleaning. I love watching my favorite military movies or gun movies or action, whatever, and especially if my kid's not here, I'll turn up their surround sound and I'll just jam up cleaning whatever I dirtied up. But yeah, I take them all apart, and that's one of the things I do first. Before I even shoot a firearm, is I'll bring it home and I take it apart. And that's kind of that's why I found gun channels, actually, is because you search on YouTube for disassembly, or not cleaning, because cleaning's easy, but it's the disassembly. And this I would like to suggest to all you creators: when you do a video of taking something apart, don't just put your finger there and say, when it looks like this, or this thing over here, because that's not descriptive enough. And so you end up going through 35 videos of the same pistol being removed to cipher through, to get each person gives a little bit more. And the thing that 5 of them missed, that little V spring that's under the slide release or the slide stop on a Walther. If you don't know where that goes, it takes a long time to figure out that V is actually a spring. So it takes a while, but as once you learn one, they kind of carry over, and then as you're more comfortable, I've taken some apart that it took me a while to get back together. My 1911 came apart easy, and I actually put it back together, and I didn't get the little smiley mark from the putting it back together, and so I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, very cool. Anybody else? Night Strike, do you have any questions? Do you have anything?
No, I'm good, dude. I'm just here for the the chat, the experience.
Yeah, it's super interesting, man. It's kind of hard to wrap my brain around, to think, about going out and doing the whole deed, doing the, go out and shoot and setting up everything, doing all that kind of stuff, and not being able to see it all. It's amazing.
It's just life,
Yeah, I understand.
You get in an accident and lose a finger. You lose your trigger finger. What are you going to do? You're going to rotate up and use the next one. My grandfather had a missing short finger because of a tractor rope accident kind of thing, and he shot just as much as anybody else, and shot bows and everything, and he was missing 90% of his finger, and he played guitars, and it didn't stop him, and eyes. I feel sorry for the sighted people.
Was your grandpa Jerry Garcia?
No, and it was actually a different finger. It was different. It was the different finger. It was the other hand. Nope. No, I said I have pistols, so I'm not in California.
You can have a pistol or two there, not many.
Yeah, but you got to.
Yeah, but I got a concealed carry license too. So
that's right.
Well, you could live in Northern California.
I have at least 2 more questions.
Go ahead, G. Yeah, we'd love to hear them.
So, I don't know if you mentioned it before. If you did, I missed it. But you're not you're completely blind at this point.
At this point, yes. I am 100% perfect.
And then, at what point was that? Like years ago or decades ago?
No, in 2007, I had some floaters. I was going through some data tables, and I noticed some of the numbers were missing. And so I went, my contacts are bad. Went in, and the guy's like, you got to get to this doctor because you got some bleeding in your eyes and this and that. And within 3 years, by 2010, I was, for all intents and purposes, I was totally blind. I had some peripheral vision in my left eye where I could see a little bit. I'm not going to say hit or miss, but
oh, come on.
So around
2010,
2010, I ended up, it was a sharp decline after that.
I was going to ask because my question was going to be, since you're doing it by feel, by braille, let's say, now you can remember what some guns look like. But I don't know if you said you weren't necessarily super into guns back then.
Yeah, as a kid,
But just a few years ago or whenever, it's not like you had a giant collection of guns, so you're intimately familiar with guns. So I guess coming at it from somebody who's not grown up with every type of gun, so you're intimately familiar with all the different parts and operations, and somebody who's doing it tactically, whatever it is, by feel, as opposed
tactual, yes,
by sight. Is there a specific model of gun or something, or a make, or any type of gun that's more appealing because of its feel and it's the way that it goes together from your angle?
From the feel, I still like 1911s, just the size and the weight and the feel of it. I do like CZs,
Yes.
older stuff. I like older stuff because older stuff, it seemed, the parts were made better. I mean, there's not a lot, plastic stuff. I mean, I do have polymer guns, but I don't play with them much because there's not as many pieces to take apart. Generally, I'm sure there's a lot of different parts or whatever, but I like some of the older turn of the century, semi-autos, just because of the history of them. I love the history. I love the feel.
Some of the old West guns that I've been paying attention to lately would be the kind of things I would think would just be so different. It's all, they're curvy and they just assemble with big levers and kind of simple parts compared to what we have now with the tiny threads and stuff. Do you get a chance to go to shops and just fiddle? Like we get to go to shops all the time and fiddle. Do they, I guess, quote unquote, look at you funny, pun intended, when you just fiddle with them?
I have two shops. One I don't really care to go to as much. One shop is a small shop, and it's a mom and pop, place that's been there for a long time.
That one? What was the name of that one?
Mom and pop shop. Yeah. Anyways, but yes, they, I don't tear them apart, at the counter because, I guess they would have.
Well, nobody wants to tear apart a gun, but just fiddling with it, I would imagine would be a different experience for you than.
Yeah, I'm
look at
all
a
over it.
Of them and make a decision, and then look at one where you kind of want to have to fiddle with all of them, right?
Yeah, I ask, like a general question. Say I want, a 45 that's concealable, and this and that, whatever the specs are, and the guy that I go to, obviously knows everything he's got, and he'll say, okay, well, we got these three things today, have whatever you're looking for. And then, that's when I basically I have my hands all over them. I'm sure they takes them a while to clean them up, if they're stainless or something. But I'm more of a parkerized or whatever. So, but yeah, I do. I like to check them out, and I guess I'm have a good sense of visualizing them. I did a lot of, designing and stuff, in my prior life. So I guess it's a little easier to visualize, what the pieces are. And since I've taken, the ones I have apart, countless times.
That brings me to my second question, or the second part of that follow-up to it or whatever.
Okay.
Earlier in the interview, when you first were mentioning your interest in firearms, that you got that in 1911 and took it home from the shop and took it apart.
Yep.
That almost sounds like there's another reason someone might be interested in firearms, and it almost seems like there's nothing to do with killing there.
Actually, since you brought that up, I called about a year before I went into that shop, the one that I don't really go to, and I said, I'm looking for a 1911. Okay, and they're like, okay, there's, how many 1911s are there? And I said, I'm looking for one because I want to take it apart. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm a blind guy and I want to remember this stuff, and that was initially one of the reasons I got interested in it, and I totally forgot about it. And I'm glad you brought that up because that was something I hadn't thought about. That was one of the reasons, because when I initially called, that was, before going in and asking, to get training and different things like that. And them looking at me like I was crazy, so, a guy just wants to buy a pistol to tear it apart. What are you talking about? And I had asked about, their gunsmith and stuff. And that's some issues I have with the local shop. I don't really care for them guys in there because they kind of pushed me off like, you're nuts, go get something plastic or something. But it's definitely something to look at, especially if you like building stuff or whatever, having a pistol that you can take apart and put together it's a fun puzzle. But I'm glad you brought that up because I like I said, I was going over the things I wanted to talk about, and that totally slipped my mind.
Okay, so I just got back here a bit, and I am kind of floating back and forth between the three chats. Now, when you took your 1911 apart, did you manage to inflict any injury upon yourself?
No.
Come on,
no.
why do you have to mention that?
And I
It's
didn't
just too perfect of a setup, Night Strike. I'm sorry, I can't even.
Come on.
And
Come
I didn't
on,
even
please.
injure it
Just let
either.
it die.
And so, and it doesn't have a smiley mark on the slide either. So, yep, I got it together right.
Mine didn't either. So,
we had Ghost jumped in. How you doing, Ghost?
What's
Good to
going
see
on? Thanks for having me. Sorry, just got
yeah.
home, but what's up, man?
He just
No,
killed
it's in
it.
a little bit. Yeah, are you guys seeing that when it freezes? Or no?
I'm not seeing a thing.
I'm hoping no.
I'm not seeing anything.
Word on the screen? Or it's the robot with a gun right now?
Yeah,
So-
no. My chat keeps pausing. I just wanted to make sure you guys are not seeing it if it was an issue or not. Ghost, do you have any questions?
No, I just got here. I'm just kind of listening, kind of taking it all in.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we have anything. Let me go to the chat here. It's been a little while since I've been looking at it.
so
22 viewers. It's awesome.
Say?
So as
She's asleep. I can't get a hold of her, and I even looked for her carry purse because I'm pretty sure it's in her carry purse. I don't know where the hell it is.
that's a great idea. Take
Sarge,
take
I told you, Sarge.
Her purse.
They have
That's all right. Give it to the next guy. What'd you say, G?
That it's a great idea. Take her carry gun out of her purse, so she has to like run to the store.
No, it's my gun. That's the thing. Yeah.
So I had a question for our guest. So, as someone who's interested in the community, are videos something you, and obviously you watch YouTube or whatever, you listen to it. Do you podcasts? I mean, is it the live stuff? What holds your interest? Most useful?
It depends on the creator. I mean, like I said, if you have a lot of, oh, look at this thing and look where, if it looks like this, then it's okay. That's not very descriptive. I do like, the content, discussing old firearms and, the activism and things like that. But I do love the chats, the live stuff. It is kind of, it gets kind of a pain going through the chat sometimes, especially on the bigger channels with the flying by and, so most of the time I just ignore the chats and I just listen. When they describe something or, screen share and, they just talk, oh yeah, that's cool. And they don't really describe it. That's kind of, a nuisance or whatever. So, yeah, I listen to the videos and one of the big things when I started, if I get a new pistol or something, first thing I do is I try to find, written, text documents, of parts and takedowns, because I ran into so many people, doing, field strip, and they just say, okay, do this, and I don't know what they're doing because I'm not, obviously I'm not seeing what they're doing. But then you do get some guys that actually discuss it and they use the proper terms. They know, this is a thingamabob. They don't say things like that. They actually tell you what it is, and so it does make it a lot nicer. So,
yeah, I think that's it. I mean, on a creator standpoint, I think this is a sort of eye-opening moment for somebody that does a video, because like I'm thinking back to all the things that I do and I say, and you do use terms like, if you don't know the correct term of it, even if you don't know the correct term of it, maybe you can get close. Not that you shouldn't know the parts, but I know my channel's not the most professional channel in the world, especially when it comes to firearms, because I'm not as knowledgeable as a lot of people. But it does kind of make me think, instead of saying, oh, you just, turn this, maybe turn it clockwise, to 5 o'clock position, or the 9 o'clock position or something like that. Like try and use that kind of terminology, because there's more people out there than you think that might be able to use that information, I guess,
And it helps too, it makes your videos more, I don't know, pleasing if they're, you describe it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And the ones I really hate are the videos that, it's exactly what you want. You listen to the title, you turn it on and it's just music. And so if you have any of the videos that are just music and you're not talking or you're not, doing anything, those thumb downs, they might be for me. So but I have to step away for a second.
Yeah.
And so I'll be right back.
Yep, absolutely.
So that explains my thumbs down.
Yeah, we all know there's that one dude out there doing it, and now we know who it is.
Yep. I always figured Night Strike.
Yeah, me too. I figured, or Ellis, or one of those clan members. I don't want to say clan members. That sounded horrible.
Wow, you just call it clan.
I know that's horrible, right? I did not.
I figured just all people who didn't agree
You're
with
an
hot
awful
dog
person.
sandwiches.
I meant one from his clan. That's different.
Travis is going to get a strike
I
13
won't lie.
tomorrow morning.
I won't lie, Travis. I've given you a couple thumbs down.
That's okay. Still counts.
It still counts. I'm kidding. I actually haven't given you any thumbs down.
I only give thumbs down to Ellis because it's funny to see him to give him a thumbs down, and he mentions, he's like, "Oh, I got my thumbs down," and I'll take it away. Then I'll give it back, and I take it away.
You like playing with people's emotions.
Yeah, a little bit. It keeps him interested. Keeps him watching the chat. He's always paying attention. Keep him on his toes,
Mm-hmm.
No. You guys out in the chat, do you have anything to say? Any questions or comments? Check gun channels here. See if there's anything new going on down there. Nope. General Relativity says Lugers are better than 1911s. I don't know.
Blasphemy. If Lugers were better, the Nazis would have won.
I don't know that
the
was
Lugers were better. We would have had them in 1902.
Lugers were very, very good. It had nothing to do with the Nazis losing.
The Luger was pushed to.
Don't tell people that.
The Luger was pushed to a lot of different countries. A lot of different countries. I don't know that was a defining factor of why we won, but that was a 9mm. I don't know. G might have an opinion on that.
And it was 1940s 9mm as well.
What does that matter? Is it loaded lighter? Maybe.
The technology wasn't there.
It's getting worse and worse over there for you, General Relativity.
Are you copying the bracket again this time?
I am doing. What do you mean copying a bracket? What are you talking about, Willis?
Stealing Matt's bracket.
It's not stealing.
Nope.
It's borrowing.
I'm doing a non-gun, non-food bracket, but I don't think I'm stealing a bracket.
We're
doing a bracket.
Guns.
Yeah, we're doing a bracket that of gun stuff to buy your old man, buy your dad, buy a dad for Father's Day. Just some fun stuff. It's just an 8-1, real quick. It'll go real fast. And then we'll go to, we can either end it up or keep going. It doesn't really matter. When guest comes back, guess who? And he's not in the band, the Guess Who, either. In case
I was wondering, that's a really good band back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was I don't know. I thought that was something important to ask. I always thought it was weird that it was the Guess Who. It was such an odd band name.
Or Dr. Seuss.
I think they were playing off of the Who.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know which came first.
I think the Who came first. I'm not sure.
Let's just Google this.
There you go. I would imagine if you were in the
questions and they gave you answers and stuff.
The Guess Who was a Canadian band. I know that much.
Well, that's a problem right there.
So Bob probably followed him. He's probably a groupie.
He was probably in. He was probably in the band.
The translation.
Probably still is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Guess Who formed in Winnipeg in 1965.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Oh, wait. And the Who formed in England in 1964.
64 and 65, you said?
Yep.
The Who?
According to Wikipedia.
That's who?
The Who was in 64. The Guess Who, 65.
The
Yes.
Who?
The where?
Is who on
What,
first?
when, why?
Horton.
That's me.
Horton here. Did Horton hear him?
Was the Who on first or second or third? Can't remember.
Hey, Abbott. Abbott.
Hey, I bet.
All right.
I like Costello better, but
So
Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello. Yeah.
And oddly enough, the Who is going to be in Philadelphia 2 days from now. Well, actually, excuse me, a day and a half from now, on the 19th of
Nice.
June. So there you go.
Is Roger Daltrey still around?
yeah, they're all still around.
Are they really? Okay. Well, I know
Yeah.
Keith Moon's.
Well, Keith Moon's dead, and oh Jesus, what's a guitarist? Pete Townsend's completely deaf now.
Really?
I
I
think.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's a crazy video to watch. If you watch, there's a video of them on, I don't remember what show it was. It's in black and white, I believe. They were on some variety show or Top of the Pops or something. I don't remember what the hell it was. And they were supposed to put like a couple of like small fireworks inside of Keith Moon's drum set. And they put like
Oh yeah,
a ton of it.
Yeah, I saw that before.
Yeah, when it goes off, Pete Townsend's standing like right in front of it. And you can see him grab the side of his head. It blew his eardrum out. He had he was almost totally deaf in that ear, if not totally deaf in that ear, just from that. And that was back in the 60s or 70s. And it's just gotten worse and worse. A few years back, he came out and said that he was pretty much deaf. It's a shame.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I knew he was still alive, but I wasn't sure if Roger Daltrey was still around or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Daltrey's still, yeah. Yeah, Moon died. I don't even know. It was so long ago. I don't know when Moon died.
70s, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I blame it on Night Strike.
It's not my fault.
Yes, it is. We've had a consensus on this for quite a while.
No, it's not. For my freaking time.
Well, maybe you're a Terminator and you went back in time, and maybe you don't want to put all that dynamite in that drum kit.
I was a Terminator. I used time travel for much more lucrative processes. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I would have bought Microsoft and Apple a long time ago.
Yeah. And retired years ago and hanging out on the beach.
Just buy a sports almanac like in Back to the Future.
There you go. We'll call you Biff.
Yep. The easiest way.
So, does anybody else have any questions? Guess who? Do you have anything else to say? I mean, this has been great, actually. It's been, almost 2 hours, right around 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
It's been fantastic. Honestly, this has been really great, man. I'm really, really, really glad. I appreciate you coming on here.
Yeah,
this has been awesome.
Thank you. I
think this is really. Go ahead. Sorry.
Like I said, about the giveaway or whatever, I'm doing that more for, for the helping gun channels than I am, everything else. But it also helps out, for people out there getting some cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think this is a killer interview too. I mean, we're lucky to have somebody like you that we can talk to sort of candidly. You know what I mean? I think I think we all appreciate. I know I do. I think we all appreciate the fact that we can ask you just about anything. I think it's really cool. It's nice that you're opening up and letting people ask, because there's a lot of things that, if you did see somebody at the range that was, that was blind and was shooting, like, I mean, how many people would actually walk up and have a conversation that would be as, you know, fruitful as this. They might just be like, wow, that's really cool. That's awesome. How you doing this? And then, you know, that would be it. But to be able to talk to you so much is really awesome. I appreciate it. I know everybody else does too. Very cool. Thanks
for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's every day for me. So it you know, I like to let you know, because like I said before, you know, when I was younger, I didn't know any blind people. I seen some on TV or on a movie, but you know, now that I went blind, I see them all over the place. They're all over. And so it's, you know, we just do things a little different, you know, and I'm just speaking for me. So, you know, there's other guys that probably do things different, and you know,
yeah,
that's why we're out here, so that we can kind of, you know, sneak and get, you know, some of G's tricks, and you know, Ghost if he does something good. Not saying you don't do anything good.
That's never. I never do anything good.
There was that one time.
Next drill of the month has got to be blindfolded, right?
Bob. Seriously.
That would be interesting.
Put the key fob out there.
Yeah.
I can't say anything because.
Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't be fair because this dude would win.
No,
that's not fair. It's not fair.
Might be an interesting though. I mean, obviously it works, so it would be an interesting experiment to go get a couple of those. Like you're saying, they're inexpensive. Are you talking like where you push a button and it makes the thing go off? So it's not like just beeping constantly. It's not like a clapper. You're pushing a button to activate it. Pushing a button.
Yeah, it goes for, you know, it depends on the type, but you know, usually it's dee 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 dee, you know, kind of a couple seconds, you know, and if somebody's behind you or whatever pushing the button, you know, that you can push it once or a couple times, and you know, some of them I think, you know, you might be able to even hold it down. I'm not sure, but there are, you know, different manufacturers or whatever. So, but yeah, if anyone has seen it. The old Mythbusters before they turned into the new crew or whatever, they did, or no, it was the first, I think it was like the first show of the new crew, and I was all excited about it because they were going to try to shoot blind, you know, and see if people could actually hit something, and they said it was a myth that can't be done. So I don't watch that show anymore.
I can't. I mean, that's.
They said they couldn't do it because they were having sounds and they were trying to turn and they were hitting the dirt and I mean, they were all over the place. But they're from California, so not.
I'm sure there's a double joke in there too.
That's true.
So,
we're not ending, but if we're going to transition to the next thing.
Yep.
I just want to say thanks again because that's what it's all about, right? Having the individuals have conversations. So obviously, like you said, most people just are not, you know, active, don't have extra time on their hands to go seek out new people to meet. So there's not a lot of people with challenge sight out there. It's great that you know, are being a Second Amendment advocate and bringing it to that community. So number one, they can enjoy it, and then two, be an inspiration for them. That's awesome. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, it is really, you know, pretty amazing, dude. I thank you for coming on again. This has been the most awesome conversation I think I've had in a long, long time. It's very cool.
Coach, you better watch out because after next week, I'll probably be hounding all of you. You know, oh, let me on, you know. You won't be able to get rid of me. I'll be like Night Strike.
Hey!
Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock.
Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock.
General Relativity over in the Gun Channels chat says he's waiting for the Trigicon sonar scope.
There's cool. There's some technology, but it's got to catch up.
Yeah. So if we don't have anything else, let's bang this little goofy little bracket out here, and then we'll see what happens. It's getting kind of late. I mean, we can cut it off. I know, G, you're going to do a van chat, right?
Yes, your attempts to cork the van chat out of existence have not been successful.
Every week. So we'll bang this out, and then we'll probably cut it off. I think we've done a lot of cool stuff tonight. I don't think we need to drag it out, and then you guys can go hang out with G. So basically, the Two Hotties says food chat. And we can turn into food chat if you want to. So tonight is it's not Father's Day anymore, but it was Father's Day. So, if you got you want to buy your dad some gun stuff, I just did a bracket of 8 things. Let's see what is the overall winner of things to get your old man for Father's Day if he's a gun dude, right? So it is the categories are a nice cleaning kit. Like you get some of the cleaning kits that are in like the range bag looking nylon bags that they've got just like every caliber you need. They've got every little pockets for everything. Really nice, right? A one-piece cleaning rod. I bought my first one a year ago, and I love it. I love it. I never thought I would buy one. I always thought it was stupid. I was like, why the hell would you buy that thing? And I absolutely love it. Ammo. A gun case. A lot of people don't have a nice gun case, like maybe a Pelican case or something that you could fly with if you want to. I know that's a big thing. A lot of them are just the soft-sided or the plastic ones that aren't super durable. A nice range box, a range pass. Buy somebody's range dues for the year maybe. Electronic earmuffs or gift card. Threw that in there because dudes love gift cards for sure. All right. So the first one is a cleaning kit, like a nice one that's portable but still's got a lot of stuff in it, versus a one-piece cleaning rod. Let's go. Let's start with Apimus.
All these pet names you keep giving me.
Apatron.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that means he's a robot.
Robot?
Do you not see me in the picture there?
Look at him. He's right there.
No. Robot lives matter.
Holding his little revolver.
Hashtag we.
No, I'm in front of that. Can you see him, little Frank Castle bobblehead?
Oh, shit.
I know you're not Mr. Knives because you don't have the right accent.
Yeah.
How do you know Mr. Knives just didn't get hooked on phonics and has gotten rid of his accent?
Is it creepy that he has an almost life-size picture of Mr. Knives right next to him?
I know, right?
It is kind of weird.
Well,
And
you're just so
like,
generous in the size of the stickers you print out, G.
I'm a little bit worried too that almost looks like Knives in like a red dot scope. I'm a little worried that he might be after Mr. Knives. Like he's like a hitman or something.
No step on turtle.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so it's a really nice cleaning kit.
Yeah.
Versus a one-piece rod.
Yeah.
Huh. You know what? I'd go with the one-piece rod because you can still use it as a cleaning for your basic cleaning in that.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got the added advantage of if you get something stuck, you can ram it out.
Yeah, ram it out. Ghost.
I'm gonna go with the cleaning kit. I love cleaning kits, so I'm all for a good, nice cleaning kit.
Yeah. Gizzard.
Cleaning kit.
Mm-hmm. Mystery guest.
Cleaning kit. With
Yeah.
a good movie. Can't beat it.
There you go. G-Webs.
Not a cleaning kit. The only good one is the one that's like $97 from Otis, like Hottie's talking about, and no kid can afford that. A one-piece cleaning rod, on the other hand, you don't know you need it until you got one. So all you guys that said cleaning kit, I wonder if you own a one-piece cleaning rod, and that's the kind of thing you want to give somebody as a gift, right? Something they don't have or they didn't know they would. And even if they already have one, more than likely you already bent their cleaning rod, so you're replacing it.
True. Yeah, or you used it to bang out a squib like I did. So
that's not a nice thing to call your son.
Yeah, gotta bang out a squib. Yeah, G's right. I totally agree. Like, the one piece cleaning rod is something I said. I was like, why the hell would you want that? Why the hell would you want that? And then I got one, and I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. So, Night Strike.
Cleaning rod.
Mm-hmm. Sarge.
Cleaning kit.
We're going to the chat. We're going to the chat because I'm going to say cleaning rod. Because I wanted a really nice cleaning kit, and I also wanted a one-piece rod, and I bought the one-piece rod first. So, let's go to the chat. I will say start. Oops, maybe.
You're gonna say start, or you're gonna type start?
I'm going to type start.
Messing with people.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a liar and a fool. So, 8 beat me to it. So go ahead, guys.
If you only have 8 on your thing, you should just set up a poll on gun channels and then put the 8 slots in there. And then whenever there's a tie like this, go with whoever's leading on the gun channel.
There you go. Can you set that up? I don't know how to do that.
Your mom, you can, and then that way to see it.
I made the bracket.
Oh, look at that. That's high class.
Yes,
on the screen.
I'm doing it as we go.
You need like one of them little robot arms like what Ape's got, and then you can hold that
There
up.
you go. There you go.
So I was filling that out. So did the kit win the first round, or is it the rod?
We're looking at it right now.
I was filling. Okay, I'm filling this out.
So I said start, and Jorge said boar snake, which is neither. Nice job.
Same thing, Scott. You gotta.
No step on bull snake.
That's right.
Well, yeah, it's not the same.
What the hell is everybody saying boar snake for? This is total chaos. This is anarchy.
When Matt does
I
a
hate
bracket,
to admit it, but most of your fans must
Vanessa,
wear
you
helmets
gotta
on the
pick
bottom.
one or the other.
Yeah, they must because they're watching this dumb shit.
Because it's tied.
They're licking their windows while they type.
So
4-3.
boar snake wins. Good. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Well, you're not just gonna.
That's true.
Do something where like, the Macross didn't, the SDF 1 didn't win, so fuck it. I'm just gonna change it to the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I'd like to change my answer to boar snake.
Yeah. Okay. So we got kit. Rod.
It's 3-2 right now.
Yeah, it's kit, huh?
Yeah, 3-2.
That's dumb. Those are dumb answers, but okay, we'll go along with it. Next one is ammo or a gun case, like a nice gun case. Doesn't have to be super, super crazy, but we'll say that something you could maybe fly with if you went on vacation or something. I'm going to go first. And I'm not necessarily going with G as far as like cost wise, because I think, you could, as an adult, still buy your dad a Father's Day gift. I'm going to go with gun case because I think that's something that people don't normally buy on their own. That's, nice. It's high end. C4?
What were the 2 options again?
Gun case or ammo?
I was leaning towards gun case because you could probably get them something nice that they wouldn't get themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But the true could be said for ammo.
Sure, but I think most people will buy ammo out of necessity. They won't buy a gun case out of necessity, really, because not that many people fly with a gun. But if you have a really nice gun case that you can fly with, maybe it would prompt you to be like, you know what, I can fly with this thing. You know what, I should take a trip to so-and-so or somewhere to shoot. That would be cool. Night Strike.
I'm going to go off the wall here and say, quote our good friend, Matt.
That's right.
Say, there's never enough ammo.
Mm-hmm. That's out in the chat, too. G-Webs.
All right, well, I'll throw someone out there just to be different. What if you go with ammo, but then whatever his caliber of choice is, you go with like a selection? So again, if you're not worried about a kid spending it and it's real money, maybe a box of 20 of whatever defense rounds. Maybe go to each shop in town and buy different branded defense rounds. How often does somebody really get to sit down and have a box of, maybe 5 or 10 different types of ammo to run through their gun? And that gives you something to do at the range together or with his grandkids if it's you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my idea. A selection, a high end or interesting ammo that he might not have already bought himself.
Right. Yeah, and that's not a bad idea too. 'Cause, I mean, a lot of people buy defensive ammo that might be, still budget friendly.
I want to make sure that I set myself aside from Night Strike's boring, like just bulk ammo. I went with classy gift ammo.
Yes, we all see that and we appreciate it. We do notice. We do notice.
Like
He went with the Cousin Eddie classy ammo.
Shitter's full. Mystery guest. What you want from your kid?
Is this where I go? Oh, huh? What? Where are we at?
I'm confused.
Oh wait, that's. I like the self-defense ammo thing, getting a range of that. Just because thinking of my kid buying me a rifle case or a gun case, it'd probably be pink with flowers on it just to mess with me since I couldn't see it. So I'll go with the ammo.
No, Dad, it's got Punisher skulls on it. Honest.
What do you mean? There's no red flames on this? Where's the flames? Yeah.
It sounds like you live in a state where defensive ammo is not restricted.
It could be a wish list. Who knows if my.
But in reality, there's only one state that defensive ammo is restricted.
Well, see, he's trying to narrow it down. He's got Illinois and California off the list. So
G has successfully gotten rid of 3 states out of 50. So, or whatever, however many. Gizzard.
Ammo for me.
Ghost.
Lots and lots of ammo.
I'm going to say ammo, but a caliber that your dad doesn't have to possibly a new gun with that new ammo.
Nice.
That's pretty slick.
57. Oh, maybe you could do something about that because now you got a bunch of boxes of ammo.
Yeah, I mean that's a good idea. I mean, I could see, you say 357. I want to buy a 357. I don't have one. If my wife goes out next year and for Father's Day and buys me a whole bunch of 357, I know I got to go ahead to buy the gun, right? I think that's a good sign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that gets you off the hook of having to buy it for them.
That's true. Ape.
Nice case, or just real nice, but you know what? I think I'll just
You can put that ammo in a case. Nice case.
I think he had a stroke.
Stacking bullets.
This is really mean to Mr. Knives. You have all that stacked up right beside him like that.
Well, it's 357 Sega. No, it's something he doesn't have, so therefore he'd have an excuse to buy a gun.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so we'll go with ammo. Ammo takes it.
You can get a 357 SIG if it's on the DOJ approved list.
No, you're just splitting hairs.
Next one is a range box, like a nice range box. Actually, one of my buddies was just, I saw his the other day. It was really nice. It was soft-sided, but it was really nice. It had a bunch of pockets. It had a lot, like 6 or 8 slots, 6 slots, I think, for his pistols. Slide them in there. It was really nice. Each pocket had like a spot for a mag when you closed it up. It's really nice, but still pretty light. So a range box or a range pass? Ape is first.
Well, now here's the thing. A range pass is only, well, I suppose for the majority of gun owners would be good, but if, say, your dad already has a place to shoot that's like a private or just kind of his buddy, a range bag would make more sense, but you know what, I'm going to have to go with the range pass because it's just one more excuse to go shooting.
Ghost?
I concur with Ape.
He conquers Ape, heard that. Gizzard.
About conquered rape?
Whoa, that's no good. That's no bueno.
So I'm presuming a range box is just a bigger, fancier version of a range bag type thing.
Well, it could be a bag or it can be a box. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I have a plastic box. It's pretty big, but just because it's plastic doesn't mean it's nicer.
Stink.
But I think that's what I would opt for. I mean, I already have a range membership, so I'd get a lot more use out of the range box or range bag. So that's my vote.
Mystery guest.
I think I would go with the range pass, just because that, you know, if you have a dad that doesn't get out as much as he should, or, you know, we never do, but giving him that, it's kind of like you have no excuse not to go. You know, it's paid for, it's free. You don't have, you know, to save up for it. It's there. I think the range pass is.
G.
Definitely a pass. I don't like boxes, but I don't think you can get a range bag for somebody. It's like trying to buy a purse for a chick. You can buy one, but it ain't going to be right. And maybe you know your dad really well, but still, range pass. If your dad just regularly goes out to the woods or what, then a pass gets him to a range, right? And then if he already goes to a range, get it for another range. So now he's going someplace else. If he's into handguns, take him to get him one for a shotgun, vice versa. Maybe to a long-range rifle range if he's into handguns. And then I think that also could, you know, depending on the situation, be an excuse where you get to ask your ma, hey, I bought him that range pass. Are you letting him go to the range? Like, you know, you might be able to use that as a way to get your dad to the range. You know, if he's having to do chores every weekend, but you're over there going, hey, I bought him this gift, and you're not letting him enjoy his gift. You know, you might be helping him get out to the range.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm all for guilt mom.
There you go.
All's fair when it's range time.
That's true.
Exactly.
Night Strike.
I'm going to say range pass.
C4?
Range box / bag.
Okay. I'm going to say range pass. You buy him the range pass and you say, okay, I bought you the range pass. Now you got the money. Go buy yourself that range box you want. And he can buy whichever one he wants. So I'm going to say range pass.
Yeah, and then he puts the pass and he drops it in the recliner and never uses it again.
That's okay. Maybe you can put something else in the range box. Put some ice in it and use it for a beer cooler.
Oh, there you go.
You're looking at range boxes. If you like boxes over bags, check out the boxes paramedics use, because they're kind of neat and they're not quite tackle boxes, but they got bigger compartments and they're super heavy duty. And sometimes you get them cheap on eBay or auction or whatever.
Okay. Next one. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Who's the winner?
Next one, electronic earmuffs or the gift card. You know, it could be a gift card or it can even be like a Visa gift card. You could use it wherever, right?
That's just lazy.
I know. Well, I know, but I think it's important to have the gift card on this bracket.
You needed me the number, didn't you?
No, that was one of the first. That's one of the first ones I put on. I think that's, you know, because hey, I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, but depending on the person's situation, it could be kind of neat.
You save those cards up, you can get the pistol that you want.
That's right. And I will say this: my aunt gives me a gift card or something for Christmas. She'll write in the card. Of like for gun stuff only or something like that. So that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna say with that stipulation. In my situation, the stipulation for gun stuff only, I'm going to go gift card. That might not be everybody's situation, though, but we'll see. C4.
I'm going with the Ear Pro, a real nice set of muffs. That's something that you've picked out and you've tried.
He likes muffs? What?
Yes.
C4. Well, look at that mustache. I mean, I mean, I think the biggest thing of that mustache is just you just hope that it's not like Velcro where it like gets stuck, you know. Night Strike, go ahead.
I think you made him blush.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna have to go with the L gift card.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, people say it's an insensitive gift, but not if you play your cards right. Gift cards, maybe.
You can use it towards a gun. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You can get a gift card from Gear websites.
There you go.
Yeah.
Close, huh? So I understand where everybody's different, right? But I would think I could see it being more fun two ways with the Ear Pro, because obviously a gift card is a gift card. Maybe if you're going to do a gift card, don't do some online store. Do something like a local shop in town or like 2 towns over that you knew about, from some mutual visit or something. So there's some reason to go along with it, or maybe like the big Bass Pro that takes 2 towns over. But I think Ear Pro is better because you got the opportunity if your dad's cheap like everybody, and he just has Howard lights, which we all have, that cost $35 or whatever. And, they're okay, but not after a day. They feel like somebody's alligator's chomping your head compared to a really nice set with the gel foamy things. If you ever put those on ever, check them out. It's like optics. People think they know what they're talking about because they look the same from 10 feet away. But once you wear those things for a day, those gel foamies and a nice set of good Ear Pro makes the difference between having a headache at the end of the day and not. And that could be something that gets your dad out there more. You might not even realize it. It's like when people have glasses and they don't realize, or they need a hearing aid and they don't realize, and they don't enjoy their activities. If he's getting like a headache because he's wearing the cheap old Ear Pro, they work, so he's not getting new ones, right? And they're not broken, so I fix them. Then that might be the kind of thing that gets him out and enjoys the range. Maybe just getting electronic versus plain old ones, because now he's listening to people like, oh shit, I can hear what's going on. It's like you got ears in the back of your head, right? I guess could talk about this. When you go to a range and listen, I mean, as a range safety officer over the years, like, seeing things is one thing, but you get used to listening with those Ear Pro. So I think Ear Pro could be pretty neat. My other aspect of it is, let's say he's got awesome Ear Pro, then get him a decent set. And now that encourages when he takes his friend, or he takes your mom, or takes a brother or somebody else, a grandkid, they've got a decent set. So they're not, because sometimes you get, you're the guest, you get stuck with the like, oh, here's some ones that I used to use. It's no fun. So maybe that gets them bringing people out to the range. Because if we're talking our parents, that's grandpas. They make it the same thing for their guests if they're out at the range all afternoon. Make their hearing not a effort.
Yeah, good man. Good thinking. Guess.
Yeah, the Ear Pro is important. One of the guys I go to the range, my stepdad, he has hearing aids, and for him, using just regular muffs that, block out 90%, whatever the rating is just crazy for him, because, you're sitting there, you're yelling back and forth, you're standing next to somebody, you can't hear them. And it's night and day. I had mine and I was talking normal. He couldn't hear what I was talking about half the time. And I bought him the electronic, and, it's definitely night and day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have an issue hearing and stuff like that, it's great.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's awesome. Very cool. Giz.
Well, I already have electronic Ear Pro, but, I wouldn't mind another set, so that's what I'm going to go with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you didn't say this was a wish list that our kids are going to get us.
It's not. Kids are just making up shit as it goes.
If I like it, everybody will like it, man.
I thought all the fathers
ask.
I thought all the fathers on the panel are just getting this stuff from Amazon, delivered from the Air of Midnight.
That's where mine came from.
Ghost. Ear Pro gift card.
Ear Pro for sure.
Yeah. Ape, you need Ear Pro for your little ape ears, or do you want a gift card so you can go buy some nanners?
You keep my nanners out of this, boy.
Boy.
Boy, let me tell you what. You know what? I'm going to have to go gift card if it's for like a local shop or one of his favorite gun stores. Let him pick it out. You know, if it's for a decent amount, he'll either save it or he'll spend it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Outhouse jumped in.
Ding, ding.
Let's go to you, Outlaw. Do you think earmuffs, electronic earmuffs, or a gift card are better for Father's Day?
Earmuffs. No brainer.
No brains. Heard that.
Wasn't
Well,
asking
I
what you're
said
going to be protecting
no-brainer.
the earmuffs with.
Wasn't talking about no
No.
brains.
Careful,
All
Night
right.
Strike. You're pretty close to that line to begin with.
So, Ape, you're going to be up first. We're going to do cleaning kit versus ammo.
Never enough ammo.
Oh. Ghost.
Ammo.
Gizzard.
Ammo.
Mystery guest.
I'm going to go with that variety pack ammo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the variety pack ammo. All right.
That works.
G.
I was reading the comments and not listening to what the options are.
The really nice cleaning kit versus ammo.
Ammo. Kids can't buy cleaning kits. Haven't you? You all are fathers. You never got a cleaning kit?
No. My kid's not even 4 yet. He don't know what he's doing.
I just know that some of the. I wish I had the money back from all the crap that I bought my dad, and he had to be like, "Thanks." You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
This is the best kit ever.
Another one, again. But back in the day, it wasn't our fault. They would give us stuff at school, and that was one of the things. Was the little crap they would give us at school to buy.
Yeah. Night Strike.
Ammo.
C4.
Ammo.
Ellis.
Dude, I've got like 3 cleaning kits. I need ammo.
Mm-hmm. I guess it depends on the dad, right? I personally have kind of a hodgepodge of cleaning stuff, right? And for me personally, I would take the cleaning kit over some more ammo. I don't get a chance to shoot a whole lot right now, so the cleaning kit would be really nice.
Let me ask you this. Let me put this in. Maybe you can understand.
Okay.
Would you want somebody to
Wow.
Now, hold on. Could you please mansplain it to me?
I'm going to mansplain this to you.
Okay.
I'm going to chef-splain this. So if someone were to give you the DIY barbecue kit that came with the sauces and the brush and whatnot versus a pile of meat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the off-the-shelf, here's the sauce you're going to like, the sweet one, the hot one, the pepper one, versus give me the meat and let me barbecue.
Let me do my thing. See, I think it's tough because I have a range box full of. I have a range box with cleaning stuff in it, and then I have a separate cleaning kit, and I have like this, and I think it would be nice to have something that was all organized and good to go. So I'm gonna make the wrong choice, and I'm gonna pick cleaning kit. So cleaning kit wins. No, it doesn't. Ammo wins.
You just didn't want to admit to one.
We were the only vote for a cleaning kit. How did it win?
Right. That's how Matt does it.
Retarded.
Isn't that how Matt does it?
He does it, but then he makes it win, though.
Who's tap dancing? Somebody tap dance? Ammo won, and somebody started tap dancing. Next one, range pass versus electronic earmuffs. I'm gonna say range pass. Ellis.
I get a free range. It's called Night Strike's place. I'm going with earmuffs again.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Why?
As a night strike.
You can mooch. There you go.
I think we can all be glad that we all don't have a night strike.
Aww.
Well, it would dilute the specialness of bringing up the blue dress every so often.
Hey, come on. Seriously?
Hey, I've been to Night Strike's place a few times now, and I have never seen a blue dress.
And if you ask him real nicely, he'll teach you how to get 7 stitches cleaning a 1911.
I heard that he either wears a blue dress or nothing. So if you've never seen the blue dress,
Wow.
Well, that's only because Ellis comes over. It's something special he does.
Night Strike, I'm trying here.
Fine Ape, all I'm going to say is watch it or you're going to be hairless, Fine Ape.
Whoa, that sounds like a party. That sounds like a party.
That's right.
All right, is anybody else weirded out by the way that Gizzard is sitting right now with that chicken in front of him?
Well, I figured if Sarge can have an eagle on top of his mic, I can have a chicken on top of it.
That's true. That's true. You guys are.
That was a giant
Hey,
chicken.
hey, look, when he opens his mouth like that, it looks like he's got a cock in his mouth.
Oh, man. Oh, that's no bueno.
That's why I fight the new Ellis.
Yeah.
You never go half cock.
That's.
I don't know about that, Outlaw, but I got a bird for you.
Yep, I see. See the
beginning of
Velcro.
This, all class.
All class. You don't get this on Match Channel.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do sometimes. All right. So C4, you got America
you don't get
One
this
there.
on my channel. My channel is what you don't get this on.
Yeah.
No, you get Bob and his dog eating stuff.
This is too highbrow for you.
I didn't know Ellis had a channel.
You didn't get the soup can and string?
Thank you, Ghost. That was kind.
Well, at least Ellis is in a 2-bit contact range. So.
You're right. He's more like 12 cent.
That sounds about right.
2 bits.
I'm about $1. Who the fuck is 50 cent? What's up there, Sarge?
It was over.
Ear Pro. Going Ear Pro all the way.
Ear Pro.
Hey, Gary's putting on porn over there. I see cock and pussy now.
And you're looks like the pussy's about to eat the cock.
Well, there goes my channel. Thanks.
That's a Father's Day present for you.
Oh, no, not that end. Not that end.
Everything on Midnight.
Don't let Ellen.
Man, you better watch out.
2 weeks, and this is what happens.
You better watch out. Your cat starts showing that to the camera. Night Strike will be over at your house in no time. All right. Night Strike,
if someone doesn't lock Midnight Range TM in the freezer.
Yeah. Chill out.
I don't know if you can chill out enough.
Night Strike, what's up? Range pass or Muffy Muffs? Muffers? Mufferton? Muffins?
I'm going to go range pass. I don't care if it doesn't win or not.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, man.
Say muff.
I think if you give a range pass to somebody and you let them know, like, hey, go get those earmuffs yourself. You go get something cool. G-Webs.
Ghost, I wouldn't take the pleasure from you.
Good pass.
A pass. Oh, okay.
Range pass.
Oh, pass. Oh, I thought you were passing to somebody. You like to do that. Mystery guest.
Okay, I have to turn my mic on. I would go with the pass. I think it's better to get him out there than worrying if he hears me. So.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
Oop, NSA.
Who was next?
Ghost.
Ghost is next. Gizzard, we'll go to you next, and then we'll come back.
Earmuffs.
Ape?
I'm going to go with the range pass.
Well, they could tie it up if they come back. We'll see what happens here.
Ladies and gentlemen, sudden death bracket.
Yeah. See what happens. Vanessa Kitty says, is that a novelty chicken that poops out raisinets like those Christmas toys? Could be. That would be nice. Ghost.
Ghost.
Earmuffs or gift card?
I'm going to
Hey there, Ryan.
Pass.
Guest pass. Well, then that takes it. Mr. Guest, what would you have said? Muffs or pass? Or did you?
Thought he already said.
Pass.
Yeah, you already
said
went.
pass.
Yeah, my bad. Range pass. Yep. Sorry, I'm not paying attention. What the hell's going on here?
Secretary.
Secretary? Yeah. Okay, so it's down to ammo or a range pass. Fine Ape, you are first.
Oh shit! Great.
If you can't get to the range, you can't shoot your ammo at the house. But if you go to the range and you can't afford ammo,
Well,
you
you
can't shoot
can.
anyway.
It's just that the police will be showing up shortly.
Well,
No,
not unless you're you live at my place.
That's something we can all be grateful we probably don't. Besides, if we all lived at your place, Night Strike, it would just be a constant stream of cat pornography, blue dress, and stitch.
As opposed to what? Getting that online? Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Well, yeah, you can turn us off online.
No, I
Well, if we all
can't. I
hung out at
really
Night
can't.
Strike, someone actually might hit a target.
I have I have hit targets every time I've went to Night Strike.
I'm sure you have, but has he?
Yeah. Well,
you mean
actually,
you mean the store? Are you talking about the store? Like you go to Target? Hey, I'm gonna go hit Target. I'll be right back.
The
They
last
have targets down there.
The last time I went to Night Strikes and we done some shooting, he hit the target. Of course, he was using my shotgun.
Well, the hell, everyone gets lucky every now and then.
I need to say this. If more people hung out at my house, they could successfully post posts on Reddit. Just saying.
I could always
Who
help
wants
you
to
out there,
post on
Main
Reddit?
Strike. Just give me a shout. And...
Damn, this is a tough one.
Yep.
You know what? I'm going to go with the bundle pack of ammunition.
Okay. Ghost.
I would sit there and say I would probably go with the range pass and let him go buy his own ammo of his liking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tough one, huh? This is actually this is a good bracket. Turned out actually pretty good. Giz.
Ammo.
Bam. Ammo. Mystery guest.
I still would go with the pass because you get in the pass, and then when he decides to get around to going, then I could throw him some rounds here and there. But getting them there is the biggest thing.
This cheating bastard saying both.
Yeah, it depends on how much you like your dad, So.
Yeah,
Just say
I guess. Yeah. Okay,
Now,
guess pass. We'll say range pass with bonus. G-Webs?
Yeah.
Range pass and what was it on?
Ammo.
Oh, we did this one already.
Mm-mm.
All right,
Nope.
so it would depend too much. Damn, it depends too much on if they can go to the out back. So I'd say if you don't know, ammo. Everyone.
Mm-hmm. At least that way you're ready for the zombies, right?
Or
Night
the
Strike.
robots.
That's right.
Or the robot zombies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those two. Those are mean.
Yeah.
The problem is their skulls are armored, so you can't shoot them in the head.
So which one are we at now?
Ammo and range pass.
Which one is winning?
Doesn't matter.
The TARDIS.
I'm not falling. I'm not falling for that again.
So it's a tie.
Okay.
If you say it is Night Strike, you can have it as whatever you want in your world.
Even though you're the sixth person in the line, it's tied. Sure.
All right. You know what? Ammo.
Okay. C4.
Ammo.
Ellis.
Ammo.
I'm going to say ammo too, because, I think, just because you can't go to the range doesn't mean you don't have to defend your house, right? So
Never enough ammo.
That's right. So ammo wins it. Ammo is the best present to buy your old man for Father's Day.
Yeah. What if he'd prefer to have just a gun?
What?
Yeah, and just see there. You never thought about that. Instead of
Well,
buying,
if he has ammo, he has to buy the gun for it.
yeah.
We actually did talk about that. We actually talked about buying him ammo in a caliber that he doesn't have. So then he's like, "Oh shit! Well, I guess I got to go buy that 357 that I don't have."
No, why not just buy him the gun? That way he can buy the ammo.
Because a 13-year-old can't buy a handgun, jackhole.
Unless they're in Chicago.
What if the kid? Right. Not all kids are 13. There's some 21-year-old kids out there,
Well, how many 21-year-old kids are going to buy their first gun for someone else?
Yeah, well, you also have to remember the fact that some 21-year-old kids need to buy ammo too.
And do you really want a gun that a 21-year-old buys you?
Well, I think it's
and can afford.
I understand where Ellis is coming from, because if somebody wants something specific, then then right? My thing is, I'm always so back and forth on like 3 or 4 or 5 different guns that it could change from day to day. The one that I really want the most, or something new comes on the market,
What if your dad is not a gun guy and you want to get him into guns?
Let him shoot yours first and see what he likes
best.
best.
That's the worst. That's the worst person to buy a gun for.
Well, you don't have to buy
Dad,
it.
Here's a hot point.
That's why you buy the pass.
Oh no, he might give it to you.
That's true. Buy him something that he absolutely is going to hate that you want. Then that's a win-win. And as a father, you have to just give it to your kid. You can't even sell it or anything. It's like a state law.
So you can go get like FN, for $1,000 and say, oh, I got it for dad, but he didn't want it, so I guess I'll have to have it.
Oh,
that's right.
Oh, you can't shoot a left-handed? Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't even think about that.
You're basically saying you guys are just buying guns for yourselves and letting some guy borrow them for a while.
Well, I mean, he could look at it. Yeah. I wouldn't say borrow. I mean, I would let him unwrap it, and then when he says, "Oh, I can't shoot this. I have, I'm too old." Yeah, my arthritis is bad. I have carpal tunnel. It's like, oh shit, I guess I'll just have to take it off your weak little hand then.
And then you get him like a little tiny one. He's like, my arthritis is so bad I can't manipulate this. When you're like, oh, I'll try again.
Oh, that's a real bummer. Here's this high point instead that I tied to the bumper of my truck. You can use this.
Yeah, here's the high point, but on the plus side, I don't have to worry about the cruise control anymore.
That's true. There was a whole setup of high point 10 millimeters at the gun show today. They were really nice looking. They're nice looking for
a high point.
For high points. I mean, yeah, they're kind of the carbines are they're a little bit wonky looking, but they're not nearly as goofy as the older ones were. Pretty nice. So ammo is the best. One thing I wanted to say before, well, we got 2 things before Abe gives us our outro. Is there was a really cool video I watched today on Firearms 101 channel. He took a bunch of range brass, melted it down into like a 13 or 14 pound mold, into 13 or 14 pounds worth of brass, melted it down, range brass. It was like 1,400 casings or something, and molded it, sand casted it, whatever, and then turned it into a lower AR for an AR-10 and fired it. It was really cool. It's like a 21-minute video. So, I mean, there, depending on how into it you are, you probably have some fast forwarding or whatever, but really cool video. Really neat to watch. Really neat to see somebody do that.
So somebody could just take a bunch of brass that they get for free at the range and 21 minutes later be shooting it as an M16?
No. It's like it was like 21 and a half minutes. But yeah.
And if you skip like several hours of prep work and actual cutting time.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess the guy had like a drill or something. I don't know, but
And like a file and like something that would go up and shoot real fast.
That is super cool. I saw the thumbnail, I guess. I didn't realize it was a new video. When I see stuff on YouTube, I can't ever tell if it's new or if it's a billion years old or what. So
yeah. He did it with aluminum soda cans too. Apparently, I didn't see that one, but
this one was on June 9th, so yeah, it was only a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the aluminum one or the pop can ones, he actually got split out into a larger series.
if you make them out of like Coke Zero, is that still an 80%er? Like, how does the math work?
I guess it depends.
It's a 0%er.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's even more exclusive than Mr. Rich White.
Yeah, but he did have I left a comment on the video. He had a pretty blatant disclaimer at the beginning of the video. You know, it said this is not enough information to, show you how to actually turn, to manufacture a firearm. He's like, not even close, which I think was smart. I mean, hopefully, if he does get a strike, hopefully having something like that there might help him out. At least get it taken care of quickly. I don't know.
I heard you don't have to do any kind of garbage and kneel to anybody or bend over and submit when you post to guntube.org, which is way better and owned by freaking gun owners.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember the URL of that site?
It's guntube.org/catbutt, I think.
No, it's creator's favorite playlist.
I thought it was / was it Phantom Versus?
Did you have a stroke? What are you talking about?
You're going to try to
start talking about stroking with him.
Mumble.
Yeah, in all seriousness, check out Night Strike. Check out the Gun Tubes is. There's a lot of cool features over there. I haven't had a chance to really play around, but I know you guys are doing some really neat stuff on there with your videos, and it's pretty cool. It is really neat. You guys watching some movies and doing like a little Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of thing. That's awesome. That's super awesome.
Yes, we now have hangouts or a hangout-like environment for GunTube.
Yes. So. I know Ellis, Ghost, you came in a little bit late. Ellis, you came in super late. Do you have any questions? Ellis, you know what's going on, right? You've picked up the whole idea with the guest here, a mystery guest.
No, not really, but
okay. So our mystery guest is a Gun Channels member, right?
So are we not supposed to say who the guest is, even if we might know who it is?
Right. I would, if you know for sure. Right. Don't say.
Yeah, there's 7 people that know who I am. So
yeah,
I won't say it.
Yep. So, he is a Gun Channels member, and he is. You picked this up, I'm sure. He is blind. So what we're doing is in the comment section of this video, we'd like you to put your guess, who it is, who it might be, and we'll let those kind of run for the week. And then next week's closer episode, we will pick the first. I think we should we pick the first 4, or should we do like a random thing?
4 is good. 4. Well, I don't care if you do first or use one of those magic little robot programs.
Let's do the random generator thing. I'll have to pick that up on my phone.
Yeah, because otherwise, people that are in here right now, as soon as it renders, it would beat out everybody this week.
Although I guess that is the bonus of watching the show live, though, huh?
Hey,
That's
why you're the boss.
Panel members can't vote.
Yeah. What do you guys think on the panel? Should we take the first 4, or should we do it random?
It's your show.
There's bonuses to
we could split it.
I think you take the first 2, and then the other 2 will be random.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Let's do that.
Wow.
2 and 2.
Because you're rewarding the people that actually paid attention and came in and watched it.
Right. Very nice.
So,
I like it. Everybody's happy.
let me get this straight. He's a Gun Channels member, and he's blind.
Yes,
100%.
Night Strike.
and
He can shoot 8 groups.
he can put he does target 8-inch targets, and he does have his CCW. Technically,
Night Strike.
Unlike Night Strike, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unlike Night Strike.
Night Strike, you're getting the raw end of the deal on this CCW thing, man, for sure. Like, honestly, you still haven't gotten it, huh?
No, and I called him last week, and yeah.
I think they sent him a denial letter. He just hasn't read it yet.
Did you ask him?
Denial about his denial.
No,
I'll tell you what.
They said what it was is they were still processing it.
Right,
Means
yeah.
They haven't finished doing the background check. And I'm like, what the hell? You know, Nick's takes like 15, 30 minutes for me over the phone. What the hell?
Not even. Yeah, I get Nick's back in like 30 seconds. Yeah, it's
The
crazy.
FBI says I'm good.
Well,
No problem.
we don't do Nick's. We're in Pennsylvania, so we do the Pennsylvania State Police does it. But yeah, we
They
call it
still
in.
run a Nick's check regardless.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure how they do it. That's true. I don't really know what it, So I wonder. So I guess is there a limit? Do you know? Is there a limit on the amount of time that they can quote unquote be
Like 90
processing this
days.
shit?
Apparently not. You know, you're supposed to get it within 90 days, but it could be.
But it's 90
As
days
long
from
as
when
they
they
want.
start processing it. It's not 90 days
Right.
from submittal.
Right. So
Right.
then in 5 years they'll be done processing it, and then you'll know.
Probably. Then I have to renew it.
Have you tried calling the department and asking for a supervisor and then belittling them and telling them how you pay their salaries?
No,
Yeah, I got voicemail.
And then you can tell them this.
You can leave
It
a
has to be
really,
face to face.
you can make
You
that
really want to get it done, say, I am Night Strike on YouTube, and I will make
I know
a bad video about you if you don't hurry up.
Nah. If it gets to that point, what it needs to do is say, "Hey, look, I'm friends with G-Webs." That'll open doors.
I'm Night
They don't know
Strike.
what
Maybe you
G-Web
heard of
looks
me.
like.
I'm kind of a big deal.
I am not a big deal at all.
That's what you tell them, though. They don't fucking know.
I'm not. I mean, I don't even have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm not.
If I was calling them, I'd tell them I'm a big deal, and nobody in the fucking planet thinks I'm a big deal. They're like, hey,
I am.
Well,
I'm a big
well,
deal
no,
on
you're
YouTube and
big.
CEO of Gun.
What's the deal? I'm not sure.
Hey,
a
Night
big
Strike.
bad deal.
Night Strike. 3 of my fake usernames, I've all subscribed to you, so you got 3 extras. So I'm trying to help you out, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate
You know what you could do? You could sit there and say, I'm the owner and CEO of guntube.org.
Ooh, there you go.
it. Oh, yeah. Get myself into even more trouble. Yeah.
No, that would be the perfect thing to say. But like, hey, I have my own firearm social media site, and I'm having all this trouble. This doesn't look good for you guys. You know, like what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I'm a CEO. I need protection.
Yeah. James Yeager's pissed off. Those guys over at Full 30 are trying to get me.
Those guys over at Liber TV are even more pissed.
Yeah,
They're pissed that they paid $50,000 for James Yeager's personal video website.
Yeager's all hot and stinky. He's got it out for me. I need to protect myself. I don't know, man. That sucks, dude. I mean, I know PA's pretty awesome. They're pretty quick. It's like 2 weeks, something like that.
It is what it is. That's all I can say.
I mean, compared to a lot of other places. I mean, it'd be nice if it should be instant. I don't see why the hell it takes any longer than doing a background check like through Nick's or whatever. I don't understand why they have to wait, you know.
You shouldn't need a damn carry permit anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you've already got one.
In all
It's called the
seriousness.
Second Amendment.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, man, you can go to wherever they are, if it's a state police, whatever. Next time you're there, just stop by in person and try to talk to someone face to face.
The problem is they're all the way out in Columbia.
All I hear
Road
is
trip.
excuses.
Yeah, well, I'm not driving 2.5 hours just to go down and complain.
What if you
There's
care
gotta
about
be
your
something
CCW?
else.
I'll do it over
There's got
the
to be
phone.
something else cool there.
Yeah, there's got to be like a dress barn or something that's going to have a sale for you.
Oh, that's just wrong. Wah, wah, wah.
Ladies
No,
and gentlemen,
I don't know, man. It's not the fact that you don't have it and you want it or whatever. It's just the fact that it's obviously a jacked up system, and either somebody dropped the ball or if they're doing this to other people, it's bullshit. And I don't know.
Is South Carolina a shall issue state?
It is, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And if you're going to ask what I mean, unfortunately, it's South Carolina. That's the unfortunate part.
What was that?
No. It's shall issue. I mean, that's what I mean. I think that's what we mean is it's shall issue. So how the hell could it be taken so goddamn long? You know what I mean? Like the whole idea with the Knicks thing and having a
a department that does it. And is that department 80 people? Hell no. Is it 8 people? That's more realistic. And if something happens in the news, the next state over or in national news, that it gets people to renew or sign up for their CCW, that can overwhelm 8 people to the point where it takes them 3 weeks instead of 1 week. Have you called them and asked them if you're concerned? They might tell you on the phone message, hey, thanks for your concern. We had an overwhelming, maybe somebody got the flu or somebody's pregnant or something, and things slowed down. So we had to let people go because of budget cuts, so things are taking longer, and then that you're taking the same amount of time as everybody.
You can ask them if they're subscribers too.
But just shaking your fist is pointless. Have you even contacted them?
Yes, I called them last week at the beginning and end of the week. Got the same response.
Double T says
Which was
CWL took.
They're still processing it, apparently.
Okay, so did you ask them what the times have been?
They did not give me a time.
Typically, when you tell them, I submitted mine at the end of April or beginning of May or in July, then they can tell you, oh, it's taking 6 weeks from that, or it's taking 2 weeks or something.
They didn't give you a time, or you didn't ask?
They did not give me a time. They said we can't give you that. Normally it takes 90 days, but sometimes it takes longer. That's all.
But every time when you call back, when you constantly remind them of that, someone's going to get aggravated and make sure that your stuff goes to the top of the pile and gets out because they don't want to hear from you anymore.
Squeaky wheel.
One would hope.
Or the bottom.
Nicely.
Or the other way around. Or the other way.
The last time I called,
and into the can.
I went and got a hold of the person in charge of the department and left a message on their voicemail. So,
where's the holdup? Is it at the state level or at the local level?
It's South Carolina's state law enforcement. It's them that's the holdup. They're the ones that issue the permit.
If you go see them in person, they can't bullshit you in person.
Yep, you become a person instead of just a voice on the end of a phone.
Well, like our Arizona one says, do not show up. It's a by mail thing, and they don't even have a little window at a place. They have a phone number.
Yeah, they don't have a place where I can go down with sled for the concealed weapons permits.
But they mail it directly from there to you.
They mail it from a PO box.
But see, that's just where it's different from there versus North Carolina. Because in North Carolina,
so if you send an email to the person who does it in carbon copy, not blind carbon, but regular carbon copy, the head of the state police, maybe that might hurry it up.
That's actually something that makes some sense, because then there's 2 people seeing it, and that guy might be like, hey, this is supposed to happen in 90 days. Give him an answer at least. And then you'll have back the answer.
Exactly.
Or he calls down there and at the very least says, hey, is this true? What the hell's going on? Yeah.
Maybe they're still trying to score that target.
I would do the I would do the
damn, I didn't know we allowed shotguns in CCW class.
It's a hanging Chad situation where they're like, is that on the line? Is that, I don't know.
It's like, why the hell did he shoot that one way up there in the top left?
He's trying to prove a point. Yeah, that's a bummer, dude.
And if I was you, I'd even mention, say, dude, I had 7 stitches to get ready for this CCW thing. You know.
Are you open carry? Can you open carry without a permit?
In South Carolina, no.
No.
Actually, there is exceptions to that, Ellis.
The only time
there's 2 exceptions: wild fishing or hunting. That's the only time. But again, remember, it's South Carolina, so Castle Doctor does extend to your car, so you can keep it in the glove box.
Well, just remember,
you should go to the South Carolina State Police and threat to succeed from the state.
Night Strike. Just remember, in the better of the Carolinas, you can open carry.
I don't say it's well, yes, it's great, but do you have to get a permit to buy a handgun?
Kind of, unless you have your concealed carry, which only takes a couple weeks up here.
Apparently. Yeah.
Better of the Carolinas. Let's see. I've lived in North Carolina. I've lived all over that place. I don't see where it's better other than that.
Yep.
Well, you left and it got better.
Now I've lived in Mount Airy, High Point.
See, that's a totally different area. That's the Piedmont. That's totally different. I live in the mountains.
Mount Airy is in the mountains.
Kind of.
Well, actually, it's in a valley below a mountain. But,
it's in the Piedmont. It's towards the center.
All right. Well, let's head around the world here. Let's head around the room. And that's it. Night Strike. That was it.
Strike. Mail. You got mail.
They just accepted it.
No.
They heard us talking.
The NSA was in and
Microsoft.
Mm-hmm. So let's go. Ellis, why don't you go first? We'll work to my left here. Give us a little closing and tell us what's going on.
Let's see. Tomorrow night I've got a show coming up at 11 p.m. Eastern. Somebody last week on Matt's chat was hollering about a professional wrestling bracket. The best wrestlers from the 1980s. I'm doing that bracket on my show tomorrow night. So
ripping off Matt, huh?
Yeah. So if anybody would be interested in joining that panel, let me know. I'd be happy to have you.
I don't know, man. You might get in trouble. The old man's going to yell at you.
He said he didn't know enough about it to do it. He said he didn't know enough about 1980s wrestlers to actually do the bracket. Me, I know quite a bit about it. So, yeah, that one I can do.
Well, there you go. Check out the Outlaw Hatfield. C4.
I'm very interested in this wrestling chat. Depends on what time it comes on, but yeah, the only thing I've done, I got out on the range a little bit this week. I appreciate the invite. I got a new video, which I just posted a link for it, where I got my boys involved for Father's Day. It took forever to edit the dang thing because I think I filmed it at too high a resolution, but I'm figuring this stuff out. But I appreciate the invite. This is a good show tonight. There's
Thank
some
you.
interesting topics, that's for sure. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. Night Strike.
Check out guntube.org.
Guntube.org. Big bang, bang, boom, boom. Clean,
and
sweet.
Hit or Miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock.
Always. If you don't know that, you've been living under a cinder block. G-Webs, what's going on, buddy?
Four cinder blocks.
Yeah, whatever.
Check out the
ones holding up his trailer.
the Patreon for guntube.org. Night Strike's doing all of that for under $40. Crazy. We should be supporting them at greater numbers than that.
Yes, sir. G, you still doing a van chat after this?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Okay. When we cut off, head over to the and that's under gun websites, right? Or is that under gear?
No, I can't broadcast on gun websites because they out demand.
They don't like, they're anti-vans. That's what it is. Bastards.
They're trying to keep me down.
I know. Keep the man and the van down. Gizzard, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, not a whole lot. Check me out on gizzardgary.com. And as always, join gunchannels.com and visit guntube.org. And great show, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks
you
for
very
the invite.
much. Absolutely. Don't thank me. Thank our mystery guest. Ghost, you're up.
Thanks for having me. I want to remind everybody that June 27th is the deadline for the ATF comment period. So please go get your voices heard on rate of fire issues. So you can go to gunowners.org or Firearm Policy Coalition. They both have links to the ATF comment. So take care of that. And I will probably be doing a live bracket of the worst brackets of all time on some channel sometime. I don't know.
There you go.
Seriously,
So
thanks for having me.
basically, if you just want to know what my brackets were since I've been doing it, just watch Ghost Chats. They'll all be on there, and you can figure out which ones suck the worst.
And mine tomorrow night will be on there. I promise.
There you go. Mystery guest, thank you, man. This is a really good show. It's all downhill from here for me. You know, be talking about sausages and shit for Hero now. This was a really good one. I appreciate you being on, and
As opposed
I'm
to
sure
what, souffles.
That's right. Ooh, souffle. This is a really cool topic, and I think not just is it a cool topping, topping. See,
Topping. There you go.
topic, but it's interesting. It's really cool, but I do appreciate you because doing this because I'm sure it was hard. I mean, I'm sure it was hard to kind of let people know, and we're going to let people know. You want to let people know who you are, and I'm sure that's hard because I know I would be worried about catching a lot of flack from people or having people kind of, you know, think odd of your situation. But I don't. I think it's awesome, and I know you're a level-headed guy, and I you know, just talking to you. And having some of the questions that we fired at you, your answers really kind of show that you're responsible and you understand your limits, your limitations, I guess, which is really cool. So thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. You know, get this out. I mean, I know there's guys that's watching this later, and you know, they might know somebody, you know, that would like to do it, or don't even know they'd like to do it. But you know, that's part of that gun channels thing. You know, it's a lot better than just searching out YouTube and watching random videos for hours and hours. At least you get kind of something. You know, there's a anchor point. You know, no matter what I do all day long, you know, if I got a few seconds here or there, I always hit over there to see what's being posted or whatever. So
yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing some videos from you. Hopefully, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I've got things, but you know, it'll have to wait till after next week.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
You know, and it was a process. You know, I've let 7 people know. So there's 7 people on GC that knows. So yeah. And each one was another bigger step and a bigger step, and you know, they didn't turn me away. So that was cool, and that's the best part. For sure. Yeah, it's awesome to have you in the community. So I didn't put it on this list, but the best Father's Day present for you might have been one of those cool cane guns, huh? I can't say either way because whatever state I'm in, it might be illegal or not illegal and possible or not possible for me to get. So I'm not trying to help out G, even though he knows.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that as the answer, but yeah, that could exclude.
The robots are listening.
G's got like a whole big whiteboard behind him with like marker, like dry erase markers. Looks like
he's got the red strings going between the pictures. And...
Yeah. He's like, he's over here. No, he's over here. Goddamn. Wheels are spinning. His gears are turning.
But yeah, I do appreciate it. You know, the opportunity. I mean, you reached out to me, and you know, it was something I'd been thinking about, but didn't really know how to do it. And I don't know. So Thank you.
No,
I appreciate
no,
it.
it's,
It was
no, we,
good.
no,
And
it's
I know
been,
it's not an easy thing to do. We're all proud of you for taking this step.
It's just a start, though. So most of the stuff, if there's any questions or whatever, hold them or send them to Midnight, to pass them to me, over the next week or so. But
Yep.
yeah, there are a lot of us out here. I mean, you got blind shooter Declan out there, and David. He's visually impaired or whatever. And each person has their own little styles and whatever to get past it. And they know somebody too. So it's kind of a network.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. And I mean, you're welcome on the show. I mean, I'd love to have you. I've invited you before, and hopefully now maybe you can join us. It'd be great to have you. It's great. It's a great perspective on what we take for granted or what we just assume is everyday, the everyday gun world.
And
the
that's
gun
the thing.
community.
How many blind people do you actually know? There's a it's not there until it's in your face. So I mean, so I just hope I opened a door or gave some light to somebody that was watching that wanted to do it or wished they could do it and never did it. So
yeah, no, very cool. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, put them in the comment section below once this posts up, which for some reason, sometimes it takes a little while. I'm not really sure. I've got really good internet, but every once in a while it takes a day or something for these damn things to render. I don't know. It's very weird. But put them in the comment section below. If you have my email or whatever, get a hold of me, and I can forward them. If not, get down in the comment section and make your guess. See if you know who this homeboy is, and we'll get some swag out to you, courtesy of or through gear websites. We'll hook you up with some cool stuff. And I'm gonna give it to our little fuzzy faced friend over here, Fine Ape, to do our outro, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you.
All right, before I do my very bad John Z impersonation in the outro, I'd like to say I went to the air show yesterday, so I've got quite a few hours of video to go through and post stuff up. I also have some beer and pizza and sandwich times that I will be posting on guntube.org before I post them on YouTube. So, shameless plug out of the way. Ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. Be sure to check out gunchannels.com for more Pro 2A content. Now stay tuned for Gear Website's Gun Show Loophole Van Chat coming up next. And we'll be back at 9:30 a.m. Eastern with the Early Watch, followed by open lobbies throughout the day. Keep an eye out for Black Cat Outdoors lunchtime and litterbox chats. Gun Channel's Monday night programming at 8 p.m. Eastern, Clover Tax, MOA Monday, and Hawaii Volcano Squads locked and loaded. 9 p.m. Eastern, Never Enough Ammo, a.k.a. Mr. Matt, the Guns and Geeks podcast, The Week in Geek. 11 p.m. Eastern, Outlaw Hatfield's Monday Night Shootout. And every weeknight at midnight Eastern, it's the Daily Gun Show. Remember to be on the lookout for Ellis the Degenerates, a.k.a. the Outlaw Hatfield's Late Night with the Outlaw. Also, check out guntube.org as a free, unrestricted Pro 2A video platform. If you like what you see over there, go to Patreon and help them pay the bills. Also, check out 247gunshow.com. It's free to sell for gunchannel.com members, and anyone can buy. Remember, a hot dog is a sandwich, and to keep your guns earled and your chambers loaded.
It is not a sandwich.
I only put that in there just to piss you off.
Yes, I know.
Because you got too much of that night striking you.
Ooh, how much?
None, ever. Period.
That's just half the talk.
Just
a little bit of the hot dog.
Just a little bit. It doesn't count.
If you high five and say good game afterwards.
That's right. It doesn't count. It doesn't count if you don't make eye contact. Thanks, guys. See you next week.